Good morning, lovely people. It is the 21st of February. First of all, happy Pancake Day, right? Happy Pancake Day. Oh, you got a new horn?
No. I normally do this.
No, but it's just like a woo after. But them annoying people, man. They sound white.
More.
On your soundboard. Yeah.
Mm.
So there's some research.
There'll be a lot of clips from like a nation meeting or something.
What?
A meeting from the nation.
What? Your nation?
Yes, the nation of Islam.
What, do you have ad-libs for us?
Oh yeah, there's loads, you know.
What ad-libs?
Yes, Minister. There's a bunch of different things.
Give me another one.
Basically.
That's basically you guys' period. When you, I can't call you minister there, can I?
No.
You're not certified.
Not yet.
Brother. Okay. So when you do your intro, I'm going to be like, yes, brother. All right. I'll give Gina the memo as well. But guys, welcome to TDA, the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And, you know, the lineup is always lit over here. Let's introduce ourselves. Thank you. And I am your favorite shade queen, Martin Royalty.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
Yes, brother. Sit down. How are you there? You looking forward to your trip? I'm so excited.
I am, you know.
Are you packed up?
No.
Yeah, I'm a last minute packer.
Yeah,
I'm a packing on the day. I'm leaving.
Basically.
But I make a list.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so the day before I'll make a list. I'll pack wherever I can, but I'm always a last minute person. And I'll wake up early kind of girl. But I have a list of things not to forget. Because certain things you can't forget. That's how you go and forget your underwear or toothbrush or like things that you can't get in another country easily.
Yeah.
My toner. Like, do you get what I mean? So yeah, I would make a list.
You see a toner, yeah? That means do you pour it into like a smaller container or or you just buy a small container?
No, because they tend to come in like 100 mil, don't they? Or like 75 mil sometimes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Have they even brought in that thing? They haven't brought it in yet, have they? The over the 100 mil thing?
Not yet. I need to look into that. But no, not
Yeah,
yet.
I don't think they have. But if it's like if it's a big bottle, then yeah, I will pour it into a smaller one. Depending on how long I'm going for.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. If I've just got a cabin bag, actually I've got a trip like that coming too. All that stuff stresses me out. Especially when it comes to like makeup and stuff. I just feel like I won't pack makeup then. Because it stresses me out. Can I take this? Can I not? Like, and it has to fit in one bag. Don't be silly. Stop it.
It's all long.
It's very, very long.
Do you pack makeup like depending on where you're going? So for example, if a country is like super hot, would you just say forget makeup? Or is makeup not really dependent on the temperature?
Yeah, it doesn't depend on temperature.
Okay.
But like it's so say when I was going to Nigeria, I had like 223 kg. So I just put everything in there. And because I knew I was going for a wedding and I knew I would go out, that's fine. But say I'm like the trip I'm going on later, or if I'm going on like a trip and I've just got a cabin bag, I just pack the criticals. Because I don't really like wearing makeup anyway in the sun. I just find it it's a lot. Even in this country, I don't like it. I just find it very like, it just makes me icky. That makes sense. But then what I'll just pack is like the basics. So I do like the lightest makeup. So I just have like foundation, which is just what goes all over your face, one concealer, bronzer, highlighter, mascara, and I'm off. Like literally the criticals. But if I'm here, I would usually like mix my foundation, then I'll do like 2 concealers, then I'll pick different powders. Do you know what I mean? I've got a lot of option here. But if I'm going away and I know that I might not wear makeup anyway, because my day looks tend to be makeupless anyway.
Okay.
That's like I always have like braids or something. I don't know people that wear wigs on a holiday. It's too hot for that. I don't like wearing wigs in this country, even in winter. But yes, I would just literally pack critical things. But makeup on a holiday, if it's sunny, I want the sun. I want all of that. And there's just something about like just feeling well relaxed but I don't go on holiday to necessarily like go out, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I'm not really I'm not a tourist baby though. I don't care about the artifacts. I don't care.
Doesn't it depend on where you're going though?
Nah. I think the only place I'm going to go to, I think when I go to Ghana, I do want to visit that slave place.
Oh, yes.
I want to go. But typically, what's it called?
I was just going to say you should go to, actually there's 2 main ones, Cape Coast and Elmina Castle.
Yeah, I think Cape Coast is one I've heard of.
Yeah. Both of them are.
So that I would 100% do. But say I go to like other places. I'm just not that girl. I'm just not a tourist. I go on holiday to actually relax. Like, I am the wake up in the morning, might work out. Next one, my birthday one I want to go to, I'm going to do more like Pilates and like yoga. Actually, then proper workouts, to be fair. But Jim, that's more my vibe.
Yeah.
And then I go on a walk, and then I love going to like marketplaces.
Oh, is it?
I love that.
Okay.
Like I like going to places with culture. So that kind of culture, I don't mind going to the markets and like seeing what that's like. But when it comes to going to this building, and this building's been there for like 1800 years, that's good for congratulations to the building. Got nothing to do with me.
Yeah, but it's part of the...
Yeah, I don't care. Because you know, because some holidays when you go, it's like a day trip. That's a waste of my day.
That is true.
Like when I'm in Morocco, like I want to go back to Morocco. I really like Morocco. They're very weird over there. I wanted to go to Morocco on my birthday, like a solo trip. I don't know if it's safe as a sole woman. Because when I went with another woman, it was a little catcalling.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it was like a lot of like Nicki Minaj, Beyonce.
Yeah,
everyone says it's safe.
Like in like all that whole North African, the Arab regions.
Yeah.
That's what they.
But then also in Morocco though, there are prostitutes that go on. So I feel like if I went on my own and I do go out for dinner or whatever, they might think I'm offering services. And when I'm like, excuse me, I don't want to get kidnapped.
Because they're aggressive.
Yeah, I just don't need that. Do you know what I mean? I just don't think that's a new way to start a new age.
Not for a holiday.
No, not for my birthday either. I'd rather not. Do you get what I mean? But yeah. So when I went to Morocco, I liked like the whole market. Like, oh my gosh. So basically, I've got a phobia of animals, right? So Akuya and I went with Akuya, my No Shade pod co-host. We went into this man was like, oh, like, let me tell you about the what's it called? Not jet skis, the little quad bikes and whatever, and wanted to go camel riding. I wasn't going camel riding. I'm not sitting on no dirty animal, ill. But wanted to do all that stuff. So we were okay, whatever. We went to his office here. So we're talking to this man for a time. There was like this furry thing in front of us here, but I just thought it was like a placemat. Ima, why did the furry thing jump? It was a cat. If you see the way me and Akuya sprinted for our lives, I've never been so scared in my life. He said, no, come back. I said, no, don't worry about it. Don't you worry about it. Now, the pancakes in Morocco as well. Oh my gosh. Best pancakes I ever had in my life.
Serious?
So banging. It was so nice.
What makes them good though?
I don't even know.
Was it like sweet like pancakes, or was it like did they have like savory fillings as well and all that?
No, it was like a breakfast pancake.
Okay.
But it was square for one, and that I was like, okay, I love food that's out of the norm of its shape. Do you know what I mean? It was square and it was just made with love, and it was made fresh, like right in front of you. It was just, and it was like the right level of thickness, not American thick and not British paper thin.
Yeah.
It was just a good thickness. And I said, this is lit. Yeah.
Funny enough, just yesterday actually, I saw British Airways are doing sales on flights to Morocco.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you are interested.
I do want to go, but I think I would have to go with someone though. Not on my own. But I really enjoyed Morocco when I went. Like I really actually enjoyed Morocco. But I went to this bar that was so cool, and they did like live singing, and it was really, really good. But yeah, I'm just not a tourist, babe. I just like to relax. I like to come back from holiday, absolutely relax and just chilling, and just my routine on holiday is wake up, go for breakfast. I'll have the eye taste, so I nap again. Then I wake up, go down to the pool. And then I just laze around the pool and whatever, have hella cocktails. Then I come back and we go out for lunch or something. Then again I nap because I've got the itis again and I'm tired. I need to check if I'm anemic, I nap a lot. And then in the evening we might go out to like a bar or like go out to, that I can do. Okay. But that whole go and spend a day and then we're going to like this mountainside and then I have to wake up at 7 a.m. Waking up early as well on holiday, I think it's a crime.
Do you know it is? But you'll miss breakfast though.
No, this is what I do. I wake up 30 minutes before breakfast is done. That's what I do. That is my routine.
Okay.
Like when I went even when I went Afro Nation, big Afro Nation, but when I went Afro Nation 2019, I can't wait to tell my grandkids about that. Best thing of my life. My routine, obviously, it would start early and end of like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. My routine, again, I'm a babe of enjoyment. I like enjoyment. I like simplicity. So what I would do, I wake up 30 minutes before breakfast ended. That's cool. Do that. But I would just like chill by the pool, have some cocktails or whatever. Then go up to like get ready, I suppose, for the festival. No, I have lunch. Get ready for the festival. Go. But then what people would typically do is like wait from when they get there for the beach, because my hotel was like 30 minutes away, which wasn't really ideal. But I also didn't want to live on the strip. I don't like stuff like that. But anyways, so I would go, see like whatever acts I wanted to see, maybe 1-2 acts. But I have to make cuts because I can't see everybody. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I have to go back home and nap again. So then I would do that and then I would leave the festival. Then I would go home, have dinner, relax, then shower, then change an outfit. Then I come back fresh for the main act at midnight.
Wow.
People were doing shifts like from midday to I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sounds like a task.
That's a lot of work, you know.
It wasn't a lot of work, but I went in a group of 10 because it was my birthday weekend.
Okay.
So we were like a group of 10, and then a lot of the girls were doing day shifts. Not me, boy. I said I've got to go. I spent hella money on cab though, but I'd rather that. Like I just like simplicity and just calmness. I can't go on holiday. I can't come back from holiday feel like I need another holiday.
100%. And that happens to everyone, you know.
It does, but not me. It doesn't happen to me. Guess what? I rest.
Yeah.
I rest. I have cocktails. I eat, and I don't go and view buildings. Works my favor every time. But I feel like you're gonna come back from your trip tired.
I'm hoping I don't though.
Because aren't you gonna mingle? Are you gonna network with your other brothers and stuff?
Yeah, pretty much. That is the plan. So, but yeah, that shouldn't be too tiresome though.
Yeah, well, you don't know what they might be like. Let's go out. You're gonna have to.
This is true, you know.
Because you don't want to be the only person who doesn't go out. They're like, oh, let's go out for dinner or whatever, or let's go to the club or whatever.
I don't think the nation will be going to clubs.
They don't believe in clubs. Oh, definitely strip club then.
They're not going to Chicago for that. They're going there to, you know, to build on the good news.
Yeah, well, do you guys get homework or something? You can go out during the time when it's done.
Yeah, but they're not going to be mixing them type of things.
Actually, how long is the conference in a day?
The conference is like, for the entire day. I think basically the very early hours,
Yeah.
it's stuff strictly just for the members.
Okay.
Because they got to do certain training and things of that nature. Yeah.
Training for?
Yeah, it's a serious
Training
training.
for what?
Because you've got two groups. You've got the MGT, which is the Muslim girl training. You got the FOI, which is the Fruit of Islam, which is like the paramilitary arm of the Nation of Islam.
Okay.
So those guys there, they do some of their drills, they do certain things, right?
Okay.
That's only for the members, right?
Yeah.
And then I think what they're going to do is they're going to open up the actual building or whatever
Okay.
to everybody else. And then whatever they're going to have there, they're going to have in it. So there'll be certain talks, there'll be certain, you know, certain things in it.
Did they give you guys lunch?
I don't think so.
So my
I'm not
priorities
too sure.
like. Okay.
But yeah, there'll be a bunch of different things in it.
That's really
Well, I
interesting,
think-
you know.
But the main day is the Sunday,
And that's the Father's Day.
Saviour's Day.
He's not my savior. I can't say that. I'm not gonna have the angels pull up my file. When I rise up. Okay. Okay. That's interesting, man.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna have more Dicky or Brendan on the screen.
Big up the nation.
That's the uniform.
Yeah, so you see the ones to the right in the blue, yeah? That's the FOI uniform, yeah.
I can supposed to say E-Man is joining the army.
So you see, if you look on the left, if you can zoom in, on the lapel, it says WDF, or no, sorry, WFD. So that's basically the name, the initials of the person who came, basically who's believed by the Nation of Islam to be a lying person.
What?
WFD. So the initials
Oh,
on the
okay.
actual thingy, yeah.
Is he one of those guys?
No.
Oh.
He's not among the people anymore.
He's dead?
This is like 19. Well, Nation of Islam started in 1930, but
then-
he met with Elijah Muhammad in 1931.
Aren't Muslims offended by that though?
100%, yeah.
So you're not really a Nation of Islam then, are you? If you're
Well,
offended in Islam,
it's called the Nation of
Yes.
Islam, but Orthodox Islam, Sunni Islam, does not view them as, you know what I mean,
Muslims.
Orthodox, as proper Muslims. This is what they would say.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because they have different teachings.
Oh, so it's in conflict.
Yeah. Like those who proper follow the nation,
Yeah.
and those who follow Orthodox Islam, 100% there's conflict there. Because like one of the main things in Islam is don't associate anything with Allah. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and to call a human being, I mean,
Exactly. So it was very, you know what I'm saying?
I can't even say what I want to say.
What you gonna say?
No.
But yeah, but that's that's the reason why they're, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
But then, to be fair, I don't want to speak obviously out of turn about the nation, but
yeah, they might not allow you entry.
it's not even in a disrespectful way, but just to say that the teachings have kind of, I don't want to say changed, but they've evolved.
Okay.
So you don't really hear the ministers or anyone saying, well, you probably will hear it on Saviour's Day and stuff, but typically you don't really hear them talking about Allah came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad.
Okay.
Now it's more so he's the Mahdi. Mahdi is basically
disciple.
No, it's more like the prophesied savior to come. So in the same way, so basically
he's already been.
Yeah, exactly. So basically saying that.
Oh, he was the prophesied savior to come. Okay.
So who the Muslims are waiting for, the Nation of Islam is saying he's exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Kind of like the is it the Jews that believe that Jesus already come here, been gone, like.
Well, they believe no, Christians are the ones who believe he's come and gone. The Jews are still waiting.
Yes, they're still waiting. That's it.
So it's basically just like that. So that's basically what kind of bridges them. So it's more so like the nation saying to the rest of the Muslim world, guys, he had come already. He had come to the people in America, you know what I'm saying, in 1930. So
is it a religion then?
It's a religious organization, yeah. But it's also, I guess, like a way of life.
A way of life,
yeah.
That's interesting.
So, yeah.
When did you join? When did you become a member? Well, when did you start believing? Yeah, believing these things, but yeah.
Years and years ago, man. Probably like in my teens.
Really?
Yeah.
When did you know that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Would you have been friends with him if he started that way?
He wasn't so radicalized, by the way.
He wasn't as radicalized back then.
He wasn't as radicalized.
Oh.
But he used to be.
It's calling you radical.
Talking up the things. Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah, man.
What does Stephen think about these?
Stephen?
Yeah.
He just laughs.
Steven's a member.
Now you know that. I don't even sound like Stephen. That's interesting, man.
Mm-hmm. But I guess like my introduction, like most people, kind of would be through like Malcolm X and stuff, you know.
Okay.
Which, by the way, is linked to our topic of the day, because today is actually the day, sadly, Malcolm X was assassinated.
And Pancake? Okay, no, Pancake is not the same as every year. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, man, 1965.
Really?
Yeah, man.
1965?
1965, yeah. February 21st.
That's crazy. My mom wasn't even born.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the end, Malcolm didn't like the nation?
See, this is what people say, but that's not true. So Malcolm tried to make amends. He tried to go back to the nation, in fact.
To fix it?
To fix, but there's also like audio footage of him apologizing to Elijah Muhammad for the way he kind of, the way he dealt with certain issues. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the factions started because he was ordered, like every other minister, not to speak when JFK was assassinated. And he spoke, and he said, you know, it's just a case of chickens coming home to roost. And I'm a farm guy, so basically, when chickens came home to roost, we weren't upset. We were happy. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, wait, how can you say this about the president? And Elijah said, look, white people love the president. They love JFK. Don't say anything against him. And obviously that started a lot of bad press about the nation, even more than before. And so he was suspended for 90 days. So in that 90-day suspension, he couldn't say anything, couldn't represent himself, nothing at all. But then the suspension carried on over, you know what I'm saying? And then that's when, you know, there were threats, there were people trying to block him from actually talking to the messenger and all types of different things. And yeah, man, long story short, that's when the cracks started to widen and whatnot. But long story short, to answer your question, during that time, he also went to Mecca. So then it's kind of like he switched to being more Sunni Muslim, because obviously he had the experience of actually praying, eating, and you know, dialoguing with white people from all different races, saying, wait a minute, the Islam Elijah taught me is different to the Islam, you know what I mean, like in the Muslim world. What's going on here?
Is that what qualifies you to become a Sunni Muslim?
What do you mean? What?
The fact that you are mixing with whites.
No, but it's part of the, like the Sunni Muslims will say that's part of the teaching, that Islam doesn't see race like that. Anyone can come to Allah.
No, Islam not seeing colour.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But the nation wasn't like that. The nation was very black and white. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, so they do see colour in the nation?
Nation was 100%, yeah.
So there'll be no white people there?
Not at all.
The gays are definitely
I mean, white... No, they are.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What?
If you're black. Yeah, if you're black.
You said that they're gay Nation of Islam members?
No, I definitely didn't say that.
Gay black.
Wait, what did you just say?
No,
I said-
Esther said, would they be allowed? I said, yeah, of course, anyone's allowed.
What?
If they're black,
Allowed to the actual conference.
Oh, but
Allowed
not
to
become a member.
but not become a member.
I can't necessarily. I doubt it, but obviously I
I'll be
can't
honest with you,
speak
honest,
for. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the white guys do anyway. The boys' club. Do you mean so? Okay, so you can't be white and part of the Nation of Islam.
No.
With mixed race.
Yeah. Because then you're considered
black.
Yeah.
That's not fair though.
On who?
Because what if I believe in this?
Then you be a friendly acquaintance.
Is it a pro-black movement?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's for the betterment of black people.
Oh, 100%. That's what makes me. Why I have
pulls
that
you to it.
affinity towards the Nation of Islam.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't, like I said in the show, like there's certain core tenets that I don't subscribe to myself.
Yeah.
You
Like
know
what?
what I'm saying? Just for example, WD Farad being a lying person, being God in person.
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm
mad.
saying? And stuff like that. So little things like in their core teaching, I don't personally believe. But the other things, you know what I'm saying? Self-empowerment, economic self-reliance and things of that nature.
Oh, so it being a core tenant and the fact that you don't believe in it, you could never become a member because you think it's a sham.
I'm not saying all of that, but basically I would have to, it's kind of like being a Christian. You have a declaration of faith, innit?
What's the core tenet of Christianity that you don't believe in, but you still say that you're Christian?
No,
One wife.
I believe in...
I like that.
No, but I believe...
Hey.
I believe in all the core tenets of Christianity, of true Christianity, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Not the watered down. But
Yeah, but your true Christianity is sprinkled with a bit of Nation of Islam.
no, it's sprinkled with, no, because the thing, I believe that your religion should serve you in this life. That's what I personally believe. So, as a black person, my Christianity is pro-black. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're Christian. I swear you do believe black Jesus, so.
100%. I don't believe in no white, blonde, blue-eyed Christian.
Do you feel
Jesus.
like God is
that's
black
nonsense.
too?
God is not a human being. But when God came as a man through Christ, he was black, 100%.
Okay.
And
So do people have like black Jesuses, like, you know how people have the pictures in their household? Actually, no, because Latinos have Latino.
This is what I'm saying. It's only Africans who have a Jesus that look like somebody else, like their the colonial masters.
Yeah, but then there must be some that have black Jesuses.
Yeah,
I've never seen what black Jesus. What does a black Jesus look like?
It depends, I've seen different ones. You see one that's Rasta, for example.
There's a Rasta black Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus that has like locks.
Yeah. This is serious business.
Or maybe like a Jesus that just has like an afro. Yeah.
Let
But
me
you know
see.
what? One of the most
Oh, stop it. The
prized-
picture that just come up of black Jesus. Black Jesus smoking weed. With the wig on.
But you know what? One of the most prized relics, or what's the best word for it? But images that's seen in the Catholic Church, is of the Black Madonna and Child, which is Black Mary and a Black Jesus.
It's Madonna.
It's just it's a term for like Mary.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Black Madonna and Child.
Women singer.
No. So that's like at certain events, the Pope, right, who, as we know, is white, right, as white as they can be, kneels in front of this Black Madonna and Child, this image. You know what I'm saying? And all the most ancient ones anyway, were all depicted black. Yeah, man. So even
Very
white people be looking at Black Jesus. Only us who look at white Jesus. Jesus be looking like Tony Blair and them guys.
Not Tony Blair.
So.
To be fair, I don't expect Jesus to be black anyway, because when they're like olive skinned anyway. It was like pale Caucasian.
No, they wasn't nowhere near the vicinity.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So I don't believe that the pictures of what we see of Jesus anyway is what Jesus looked like. I feel like when we get to see him is when we'll know what he looked like.
But the issue is though, even though a lot of us know that he's not white, right? You go to somebody's house who has a white Jesus and take that picture down, there'll be a problem. Because there's something there that they're attracted to. They see God, they see Jesus as a white man. You put a black picture up there, right? I'm telling you, there's a problem.
Just made it, because I never ever think of Jesus as like a race. Like it's never occurred to me. It's only when we talk about it here that I'm like, okay. But even then, as soon as I step out that door, I don't think about it again.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's just about serving God, like, and serving Jesus. I don't attach a race. I don't attach any humanness in the way that I know humanness in my human mind to the Almighty. I just can't do it. My brain just doesn't.
But I mean,
allow it to happen.
I guess that's a good thing in not to say in any type of way, but that's a good thing in the ideal world.
Yeah.
But religion's been used to do all sorts.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And this is why I think, not even religion aside, but like I was saying, I believe your religion should direct you, should help you in this life. It shouldn't just be when I die, I'm gonna be with my. No. I believe personally, anyway, your religion should help you in this life.
Absolutely,
what's the point? That's how I see it.
You'll make it through this life, boy. Like if your faith doesn't help you through this life, you'll make it through this life.
Yeah, this is it. You know what I'm saying? And in this world where race is a real thing, is a reality for everybody, I think it's important that if there is going to be an image of your God, that image reflects who you are. You know what I'm saying? Again, you go China, you see Chinese Jesus, man. You go to Mexico, you see a Mexican Jesus. Africa still looks like the European, man. It's a problem.
It's crazy, man. Right, very interesting. All right, guys. Well, that was lovely. If you guys could kindly like this video and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. Also, while you're here, you might as well just drop it on your timeline. You might as well just share it. It's a quick link. Click the share button and let's get into our first headlines.
All right, so our first headline, some sad news, man. And there was an earthquake again.
That's horrible.
Yeah, man. So a 6.3 magnitude earthquake hit the Turkey-Syria border region late on Monday, yesterday evening, I believe. The quake caused panic and damaged buildings in the Turkish city of Antakya, which is 2 weeks after the country's worst earthquake in modern history. And that left tens of thousands dead.
Oh.
Yeah, man. That one anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, not this new one. No. So witnesses reported a strong quake and further damage to the buildings in the central Antakya region, where it was centered. It was also felt in Egypt and Lebanon, apparently, yeah. So the European Mediterranean Seismological Center said that the tremor struck at a depth of 2 kilometers, which is 1.2 miles. Witnesses said that rescue teams were checking people were unharmed. A resident by the name of Muna Al-Omar said he was in a tent in a park in central Antakya when the new earthquake hit. He said, "I thought the earth was going to split open under my feet." So it's a she. And she said, that is there going to be another aftershock? She was, she was obviously worried and whatnot. The two larger earthquakes that hit on February 6th, which also rocked neighboring Syria, left more than 1 million people homeless and killed more than the latest official tally of 46,000 people in both countries.
That's horrible.
Very, very, very. Next headline is about Joe Biden visiting Ukraine, man. So the president made a surprise visit to Ukraine, and that sparked anger and embarrassment among many of Russia's hawkish military pundits on Monday, increasing pressure on Vladimir Putin as the Russian leader prepares to justify his stuttering invasion in a national address. Biden's historic visit came days before the one-year anniversary of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, providing a symbolic boost to Kiev at a crucial juncture in the conflict. But the visit caused fury in Russia's pro-military and ultra-nationalist circles, as it upstages Putin on the eve of a major address in which the Russian president is expected to tout the supposed achievements of what he euphemistically calls a special military operation. The Russian journalist Sergei Mardan wrote in a snarky response on his Telegram channel, "Tales of miraculous hypersonics may be left for children, just like spells about the holy war we are waging with the entire West." Biden's visit was the unprecedented journey by a US leader into an active war zone where the US did not have a large military presence. According to Biden's national security advisor, Jake Sullivan, a few hours before he departed, the United States informed Russia of the plans to visit the Ukrainian capital for deconfliction purposes. CNN also reached out to the Kremlin, which has not yet publicly commented on Biden's trip, but a former Russian president, Dmitry Medvedev, dismissed the trip, accusing the US of warmongering support for Ukraine. And last headline is about some fighting that reportedly flared up on Monday between the Democratic Republic of Congo's army and the M23 rebels. Speaking on condition of anonymity, a security source said that clashes began at 5 a.m. in the Kitshanga area, northwest of the main eastern city of Goma. The fighting comes as regional leaders called once again on Friday for a ceasefire and for all armed groups to withdraw from occupied territory by March 30th. it's believed that over 120 armed groups and self-defense militias fight in the eastern DRC. The M23 group, whose name stands for March 23rd Movement, re-emerged from dormancy in November of 2021, accusing the DRC of ignoring a promise to integrate its fighters into the army. Winning a string of victories over state forces, the rebels now near the provincial capital, Goma. The Democratic Republic of Congo accuses its neighbor Rwanda of backing the rebels, which is a charge supported by a group of UN experts. But Kigali denies. And that's the end of the headline.
Thank you. Let's get into what you're saying.
All right. How's it going, Marks?
Well, go on, man. Well, busy morning. Sorry, man.
It's all right. You came at the right time. So, today, we're talking about Malcolm X, yeah? Because today is the anniversary of his assassination.
Is it?
Yeah, man. 58 years ago.
Goddamn.
Yeah, man. So, he would be about 97, 98 if he was still alive, right?
So he'd be dead, basically.
Was he part of the Nation of Islam?
Oh, most definitely.
Okay. So you'd have been seeing him at the conference if he was alive.
Yeah, exactly. He's probably he put Nation of Islam, I'll say, on the world stage, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? He got the teachings in prison, came out, amazing oratory skills. Like, the membership just went up crazy by the thousands. Yeah, 100%. And obviously he's one of the biggest speakers for civil rights during that time in the 60s and stuff like that, late 50s, early 60s. I bring him up here, obviously, just to, give him praise, because, like, without his contributions, like, the world wouldn't be as it is right now. Like, even his autobiography is pretty much rated as one of those must-reads, you know what I'm saying? Despite the fact that his teachings were so, at a certain time, most people consider it anti-white, you know what I'm saying? But that aside, yeah. Because, like I said, he was an influential leader, one of the greatest, I would say. Do you feel like we need another leader like Malcolm, or just any type of great black leader to kind of be amongst us to better our situation? Do we need a leader in 2023?
Okay, not all at once. I think we need leaders.
Okay.
I think we need leaders. I think that. Yeah, I don't think that is. I think it's a lot for one person. It's a lot of work for one to just be put on one person, and also that person becomes a target. And then when that person is assassinated, like Malcolm X, then it's a case where we kind of go without until another person rises up. Do you get what I mean? I think if everyone had a responsibility, whether great or small, of being a leader, and because essentially, like, leaders of, like, these kind of leaders, there's a particular work they're doing in it to better the black community. And I think that there's so much work that can be done within the black community that we can all just pick pieces of that and do that work wherever we can. Do you get what I mean? So I think we need, like, plural leaders, but I think everyone in one way or another can be a leader, can take on this fight.
Okay. What do you think, Marks?
How can you move your hoodie back to hear better?
I said on the show before, the reason why we're in the problems that we're in, because we ain't have no leadership. So we ain't had no leadership for a good while.
Do you feel like, yeah, we definitely need something?
Yeah, you always need leadership because people are lost in it. So
I think we need one or multiple.
yeah, you need more than one, because when they die, when they get killed, we need replacements.
No reserves.
We need reserves, so we definitely need more than one. One's not going to cut it.
Yeah.
So you see it as a when they get killed, not a if.
Yeah, no, definitely when. If they're good at what they do.
Yeah, they're making a lot of noise. It's a when, honey.
Wow.
But they must be prepared for that, though.
And I don't know, in this day and age, do you reckon they can still do that? But then again, yeah, of course they could. They
They're
would.
doing it every day,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
They'll just find...
They'll find new ways.
Yeah, they'll just find a new way.
Because there's some leader, I keep forgetting his name, wasn't like, he came here on a business trip from another country, and they saw him on CCTV. It was on the news for weeks and stuff. He and his wife came here. Imagine coming from, like, another country. Imagine, like, Nigerian president comes here, right? That kind of vibe. And he came here to have meetings or whatever with certain leaders or whatever. And there was CCTV of him going into the hotel, and they never came out. and he was missing. He was dead. Like he's gone. They don't know what happened to him.
Serious.
Was he Turkish or was it? He was from. I can't remember this man's name, but literally, like they don't know what happened to him. But obviously, the man just disappeared. His wife was like, "Well, he left. He's not back." And then when they looked at CCTV, they see him go into the hotel, but there's no footage of him coming out. But he's not in the room. He's not in the hotel. He's gone. He's missing. He's dead. I can't remember his name. It was in the news. Like I think it was last year or maybe during. Yeah, I think it was like last year. It was the whole thing from another country. He came here on business work, but he was a proper like notable figure.
Serious.
Yeah. So if they did not, and he was not black. How much more black leaders?
Okay. So like you said, it's basically inevitable that they will try and do something, right?
Yeah.
But let's just say we had the right people around them. So let's just say like, obviously I don't want to make this about the nation, but like Farrakhan, right? He don't go nowhere without, you know what I'm saying? Like the soldiers, no speech, no nothing. Yeah. They're always there, deep, yeah. So let's just say that was covered. Do you feel like that particular leader, we would actually listen in 2023?
Depends what they're saying.
Okay, what do they need to say to make you be like, okay, you know, this is a serious guy or a serious woman?
It just has to be something that I think is an issue as well. Say, for example, like I don't know about the Nation of Islam. I don't subscribe. Like I don't know what they do. So if the leader comes forth from there and is preaching the messages that they be preaching in your circles, I don't know what you guys talking about. Like I have no reason to like. I don't get it. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I could probably learn, and if it's something that I can relate to, be like, do you know what? I do stand behind that. But the issue is that when it's then sprinkled with some other things that I don't stand behind, we don't. It's not like we get to vote which gets passed. I'm either all in or I'm all out. So if the things that I don't subscribe to are very, very strong, I'm very convicted about that, I have to be out. That's what makes it difficult. I think back in the day, I feel like their fight was more for like freedom of black people and stuff like that. Like it was, you had to subscribe to that because you didn't want to be a slave. Or you didn't, not a slave, but you didn't. Do you know what I mean? You wanted that freedom. You wanted us to be part of society. But I think now that we are kind of part of society, we're part of society, innit? We are part of society. It's difficult. Whatever the fights are now is going to have some other elements to it that some people might not deem as important, and that's where division arises. But
one could say there was even division back then, though, because you had Martin Luther King. Obviously, there were so many other leaders as well, but the main two was Martin Luther King and Malcolm X.
Yeah.
So one's Christian, one's Muslim.
Yeah.
Yeah, what Kevin just said.
No, what did you say?
Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, they're kind of like Andrew Tate. How do you feel about that, you man?
What's their thoughts?
You need to expand. You need to expand.
No, that's so funny.
If you're saying just in the sense of they were saying something that kind of resonated with people that the majority wasn't saying, then all right, cool. But like, what else? Because yeah.
So,
but yeah, man. Do you feel like we will listen, Marks, to this leader?
Nah, not unless they got blue tick or something.
Wow.
Well, they're verified.
Yeah, they got to be verified. They got to have bare followers. If they ain't got like a K next to their followers, then I don't think no one's gonna listen.
And that's actually the world we live in, you know.
It's crazy.
That's actually the world. They've got to get behind the podcast.
You think you could be a leader with 4,000 followers? You're sick.
They've actually got to start on a podcast. I can't lie to you. They've got to start on a podcast with, in that kind of setting, maybe the barbershop setting, and then be on TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok. You need TikTok as well. If not big on TikTok,
that's crazy.
You're not certified.
No, certified.
This is what we live in. This is the reality. This is what we live in.
So what about if you see them on the news all the time, though?
They go viral.
Yeah, but yeah. Okay, cool. So somebody puts that clip on social media.
Yeah, and it goes viral. Yeah. But then you got to just hope that some other mess don't come out about you. Now you're trying to get cancelled. Imagine trying to cancel the leader.
This is true.
Bring up the leader's old tweets.
This is very true. But then again, if their tweets are kind of anti-white or anti-establishment, black people, the people that they actually want to lead, they don't care.
Yeah, they won't care. But my thing is just make sure there's no tweets that's any no colorism, no anti-black, no anti. Yeah. It cannot be any tweet that offends black people because now your credibility is being questioned.
Okay. And what type of strengths do you think this leader needs to have? Essentials.
Strengths.
You've got to be principled.
Okay.
Got to be principled, have integrity, be honest, not be chasing clout.
Okay.
Can't be a leader in Gucci'd out. I ain't taking it seriously.
How? But it's like SPAC Nation and that.
You know how I feel about them.
No, what I'm saying, they might be able to grow the masses. People might lead. They might be able to lead more people more if they drip down in Gucci. Like, you get me?
That's cool for them, but a lot more people don't like them than do.
Do you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, but that's because that's tied up in all different stuff. I'm saying if there was a lead, if he was more relatable, don't you think it would help?
It might help some people, but I don't want to see a leader. Now, what happens when you're doing protests and the what's it called? The police are like coming to do tear gas and all that kind of stuff, and now you're worrying about your Yeezys being stepped on. So, I feel like your priorities are messed up. I'm not saying I want you to be dressing like you're, down bad, but I just think that you need to look like you're not concerned about material things, that you're worried about the bigger picture.
But no one care about the bigger picture.
Fair.
So if you just care about the bigger picture and you're just doing all that, you're only going to have the minority. You're not going to get the
I
masses.
suppose that's true. You won't go viral.
So what do you do then?
Goodness me. Come on TDA for interview.
Because they need to have like a modern approach, innit?
Yeah.
Like you're saying, they need to somewhat be part of the social media. Because even back then, Malcolm X, Martin, like they went into like the news shows as well. There was on radio stations and things of that nature. So the equivalent would be going on, let's just say, Piers Morgan. What's that? It's not GMB, is it?
Good morning.
Yeah, Good Morning Britain.
Going on them type of shows. You know what I'm saying? Going into podcasts. You know what I'm saying? Because how else are you going to be reaching the people? You know what I'm saying? But you guys kind of touched on it before, yeah? Well, I think, Esther, I think you did, right? But what kind of thing, what's the banner that they need to really be like driving home for us to get as many black people under it as possible? Because the reality is, if we kind of focus on the fact that we're all different, right, which is blatantly obvious, we're never going to have one leader, right, or leaders even that can really speak for the masses. It's impossible because there's so many different things. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so like, what would be the main the core thing that they're talking about to make you say, regardless of the fact that I don't agree with him on this particular thing, I'm still riding with this guy. Because I'm pretty sure, because back in the day, like there would have been people who were listening to Martin Luther King saying, I don't agree with this turn the other cheek non-violence approach, but I hear what he's saying with these other issues.
No, I think it's what Esther was saying, though, innit? Their gripes are different, innit? So even if you don't agree with everything across the board, yeah, they're fighting for like civil rights for black people and that. So it's like you gotta because that's the bigger cause probably outweighs everything that you believe. So you gotta get on board, if that makes sense.
But would people get on board though? Because I can see right now bare Christian, like even when I talk about nation here, right, for example, in the chat or whatever, people be, how can you have such opposing views? If you're a Christian, how can you be subscribing to Islam? And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, certain teachings anyway. So there's that divide where it's almost like, well, if you're a Christian, for example, you're going to feel reluctant to follow this guy who's a practicing Muslim. Even though he's saying the right things, like, as a black person, that can benefit you as a black person also.
I don't know. If his message isn't about religion, then would it affect it? I don't know. When people are voting and stuff, like say like politicians and that, if their message is not, the people don't care what their religion is, isn't it? If their message, what's the word I'm looking for? Their policies and shit are in line with what they're looking for. They would a religion have that much of a big impact on what politician you're voting for if his policies are in line with yours?
Me personally, no. And I don't care about that.
That's what I'm saying. Most people would be like that, depending on what they're pushing in it. Like if their agenda was religious based, then maybe that's different, innit?
Okay.
You know what I mean? But if their policies ain't, if it's more just a human thing and things that you can relate to, then I don't think it should matter whether they're what their religion is.
I'm not too sure, because I feel like Brent. Okay, tell me what you think here. So let's just say someone comes up and they're speaking for, black people, this, that, and the third, but they're practicing Muslim, right? And obviously every now and again, you're going to sprinkle bits of your belief in there because it's just part of your everyday, way of life and whatnot. Would you have that closeness to them, Brett?
If they are practicing Muslim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still would? So you'll be able to basically not see the Islam part?
If he's not preaching, if he's not going there for the teachings of Islam and that preaching, then what's it matter?
Yeah, that's just their faith.
That's what I'm saying. I get what you're saying, that the person's ideologies are going to be sprinkled in whatever they're saying and stuff like that, yeah. But if that's not the agenda of the meeting, of the purpose of these meets, if he's not pushing Islam and it's religion-based and boom, 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 what's it matter? Whatever he's going to be talking about is the reason why the people came there to hear them for, innit? So your thoughts, your policies, they all align, innit? You get me? So, because... I mean, even though that man didn't vote for them or nothing like that, like there's been people from different religions in positions of power, say like in this country, and I don't think like bigots and stuff might look at it like that, but people who don't get that, I don't think that comes into place. Where like the Rishi Sunaks or the Sadiq Khans or whatever, I don't know what religions they are anyway to check whatever. I'm just saying that stuff doesn't. Obviously, if anybody just wants to just hold abuse at people and chat shit, then cool, you can use it, kind of following that. But I'm saying for the most part, it's not a thing, is it?
I think you'd be surprised, Because a lot of the time, when I've spoken to, let's just say, like Christians or whatever, even though the person may not be, like, okay, look at someone like Farrakhan, or look at Al Sharpton, right? There's Muslim people who are like, no, I'm not following this Reverend Al Sharpton. He still believes in white Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like, what can he offer me? Even though he's out there talking about black civil rights and things of that nature, right? And then you've got someone like Farrakhan, for example, and people be like, okay, yeah, he's black, he's speaking positively about so-and-so. But maybe what he says about, for example, Jews, because you're a Christian, you feel like, no, I've got an affinity to the Jewish faith, so I don't like what he's saying here. And you know what I'm saying? There's little things that...
Is it safe to say that man do that, the faith-based teaching thing? Like their message is wrapped up in that, in their faith, innit? So like Al Sharpton and...
Yeah.
That's a bit different because they're extremes, innit? You get me?
Okay, so okay, cool. I see what you're saying, but I feel like if somebody is practicing a particular faith, every now and again, that comes through. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, it will, because like what you're saying, it's your faith, innit? So when you're drawing on experiences and stuff and referring to the God and whatnot, it's gonna be that, innit? Yeah. But if that's not the main agenda of what we're doing here. Like if man's got to apply and you need leadership, and there's some people are down bad somewhere, you want, whether it be I don't know, say there was someone in a job space, they need to unionize and whatnot. All their goals are the same thing. Are they going to say, this guy can't lead me to my goal and get me what I want because he's Muslim and I'm Christian?
No.
Innit? No, not at all.
That's true. Yeah, I was going to say something about black people, but I won't say it.
Go read the room, King.
Exactly, I won't
Read
say
the room,
it.
brother.
Okay, cool. So, do you feel like, again, having that leader ticks all those boxes? You guys feel like he can be trusted, or she can be trusted, and also, do you feel like we can be trusted to actually have and appreciate a leader like that?
Did I say that again?
So do you feel like that particular leader could be trusted? So obviously, every now and again, you're going to hear certain things about certain leaders.
What if they got a different faith to me, you're saying?
No, like the faith aside now.
Okay,
so they're just a leader now, right? They're out there speaking for black people. Do you feel like you can put your trust in them, right? And also, do you feel like us as a people can be trusted to follow this person, look after this person, and actually, you know what I'm saying, appreciate this person? I say all of that because in the past, black leaders have been killed by black people. You know what I'm saying? The white people obviously facilitated it and this, that, and you know what I'm saying? But it's black people that did the job.
Yeah, well, that's like slavery though. Black people are the ones that facilitated the sales.
Exactly. So are we ready for a leader? Can we be trusted to actually look after this leader?
We can, but the thing is, the issue is that we can't all universally, every black person be on code. It's impossible. Do you know what I mean? So unfortunately, there will be some bad apples who will help the other side try to get rid of this person. But we just have to, hopefully that will be the minority. And so the majority will hopefully have the bigger strength. Like, I actually think it's impossible for every black person to be on code.
Oh, 100%.
It's impossible for every 100%. Woman to be on code. Like, it's impossible for any anybody or everybody to be on code. It's not possible. So unfortunately, that will happen. Like that's inevitable. But I do think that if the majority, it will be the majority. Hopefully, it will be if the majority are the ones that support you and believe what you're doing, then that majority can be trusted. Because once people sign up to something, they're real.
Do you feel like this might be a controversial one? Yeah. And Brent, I want you to chime in as well. Yeah. Do you feel like this leader in 2023, things changing, could be a woman?
Yeah, absolutely.
What did you
That's
just say?
controversial. Yeah.
What did you just say?
Do you feel like the leader could be a woman?
Why is that controversial?
Because remember, you're asking now. Let's assume this is just one leader.
Yeah.
You're asking loads of men that obviously have certain views, this and the third, to look to this one leader.
Yeah.
Women
It's
have been-
It's a them problem. It's a them problem. Like,
Yeah, even though it's a them problem.
2023, there's women that run whole countries, you know.
Yeah, but that's still.
that's a leader of a country.
Oh, E-man, where are we going there?
I feel like that's different though. I feel like people like what's her name?
Get you, brother.
Angela Merkel. What's her name? Merkel, right? The German leader, right?
Yeah.
I know, obviously Nicola Sturgeon and the Finland one and all
The
that. type of
Barbados woman.
stuff. There you go.
Yeah.
But it's a handful in a
Yeah.
world of hundreds of countries.
Yeah, but
Right?
yeah.
So
I think if that's, do you know what this question is for? This question is for the incels.
okay, cool.
Because if there's a woman here that's
Yeah.
going to lead and she's leading for that, the messages are right, everything makes sense.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, but it's a woman leading. You don't really want anything that you think you want then.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean? Like, this will only be an issue for anyone who feels threatened by the idea that a woman is doing something that you couldn't do. Like, this is not.
Are you
Absolutely
asking
not.
if it is a woman could actually lead a group of men towards a particular goal?
And the men basically submit under that person's leadership.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
basically.
the thing. The
Do you
issue
feel
is
like
the
people
men,
can
though.
do that?
The women can lead,
And what-
absolutely. The issue is the men.
Sorry,
Sorry, babes.
that's all right. I apologize. What type of men are you talking about? Because they all come in all different flavors.
Yeah, it's just the
flavors,
men.
child.
It's just the men of today. Because remember, we're talking about a leader here that represents, or at least the majority of black people look to and can relate to. You know what I'm saying? So any type of black man you can visualize, I'm talking about them.
I know black women are leading the household, boy. You don't ever know.
But you get what I'm trying to say? It's kind of like saying, again, this might be controversial, but I feel like it's realistic to kind of be like, okay, are you going to see a woman leading the American army? Are we going to see that in like anytime soon?
Why
Or
not?
like a general.
Yeah.
Why not, though?
But I'm just saying.
But the thing
that
is, for me,
environment,
nothing is
It could
nothing's
happen,
impossible.
especially
It
in
could
America,
happen.
but it'll be a little while. That's just because there's more men in front of her. There's loads of men,
Okay.
so she's got to wait her time. That's the only reason.
But
why.
it's not impossible.
No, I don't think it's impossible.
But the thing
are
is-
we ready for it? That's more so the question.
Yeah, but the question is not, are we ready for it? The question is, are the incels ready for it? Because for me, like, I'm not seeing the issue here. It's a leader. A leader's a leader. It's just a leader.
But you know that there'll be a lot of women who actually, there's loads of women who actually say, I prefer to have a male boss, for example. at work.
Yeah, and we know what we call those
No,
women.
but I don't think it's fair to necessarily just say they're, what's the term? Pick-me's and stuff, right? Is that a term?
That's a term. But I would have gone worse, but that's a term, yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily the case. I feel like a lot of the time they look at certain traits and say, I'll prefer this particular thing because I know if they put themselves in that position, they know how maybe they may act in different ways. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And they don't think necessarily that's the best thing. So, of course, there's been many women, right, back in the day, even like African women from different tribes, different nations who have led the countries. We know this, right, historically. But I'm just saying, in today's day and age, 2023, that one leader that we spend time talking about, could that person be a woman? Is that enough to unite the people?
I think it is, just because I feel like the reasons why women were leaders back in the day, or obviously it was obviously political reasons or whatever, but also in terms of socially, people are like, oh, women are, emotional and they can't think that blah, 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 blah. But the same way every man is not the same is the same way every woman is not the same. Every woman is I don't know what people think is going to happen if a woman leads. She's not going to come there crying out. Do you know what I mean? Like, people are different. So for me, I think that if whoever's going to lead is going to be a strong leader, you're a strong leader regardless of whether you're a man or woman. That to me that isn't anything. I don't feel less safe when a woman is leading. and I don't feel more safe when a man is leading. I feel safe when it's a leader that knows what they're doing and they're leading right. And I feel like that should be the focus, really and truly. So if it is a case where a woman is leading the pack, I can't imagine, or I can, because they do exist, but a man saying to me, yeah, but a woman leading, is she really the right person? The reason why she's in a position to be able to do this is because none of your genders has risen up to do it. So, like, do you get what I mean? For me, if a woman can then be in that position to be leading like that, that speaks volumes anyway, because she's doing something that the gender that think they're the stronger ones, who are better, who think that they're better in a better position to do it, are not doing. So for me, I think, like, what is the
I would follow Harriet Tubman anyway.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
But you.
Underground Railroad.
Listen, let's go. Let's do it, sis.
Angela Davis and them girl there.
Let's get our steps in.
Yeah, I think once it is that she imbues in me, like the right direction. If I'm confident that what she's saying and the character is only for the betterment of her people, 100%. And if also other notable men that I revere are also looking at her as though she is the way, it's hard for me to ignore all of that just because she's a woman. And I do believe that sometimes, obviously, women will have to basically work harder in order to even gain respect from these men in the first place. But I don't know if it is. I would just bank on other people's reverence for another individual before I look to follow that individual. I would make my mind up myself.
But it's what you said there. It is kind of like a key thing, though, right?
Yes, it's because the world in which it is we live.
This is the point of the question. Because we live in this world and we know how we are as people, right? We can talk about ideals all we want, but the reality is we know how we are as people. We know how we see certain genders, races, sexes, things of that nature. So I feel like what you said there is 100% accurate. I feel like a lot of men would have to look to other men that they revere and hold to a certain esteem, right? And see if they look to that woman. Because it's like, okay, cool, I can trust your judgment.
No, I don't think so, man. The proof of the pudding is
so?
in the eating, man. You just need to show it and see. You get me? Like, people, not everybody's allowed to do, not everybody's capable of critical thinking and stuff like you say, yeah, but men are usually quite sensible. So when you can see something is what it is, that's like the proof's in the pudding. You get what I'm trying to say? That, and I don't think it's somebody else's. I think the woman has to show who she is and what she is, and a man can make a choice and say she's the truth.
You know, can I add to that though? The thing is, you're saying that because of how you are. There are men actually, even in like the littlest things in society, that look to other men for approval.
Oh,
hate
100%.
to say it, but
every day.
no, your Achilles are looking at you. Like, if Marcus likes that, then okay, then I like that. So that is the reality. It's pathetic.
But it's the reality.
But I don't think saying that a woman can lead is something that is in an ideal world, because women
that's
have
harder.
led before.
People are lemons, yeah. But I'd have to co-sign something proper. It's harder for me to co-sign something meaty and get the majority to follow it. You know what I'm trying to say? That's the sycophants.
You underestimate your influence, King.
You reckon?
Yeah, you absolutely are. Like, do you know how many things like? This is why. Yeah, people love Melissa's wardrobe the way they do. Because do you know how many other influencers? I know that I'm bringing on to influencing, but this is influencing. But do you know how many other influencers like have like average like dead things that they promote and people just buy it because this person? It's about that person. It's not necessarily the quality. Do you get what I mean? So they won't look to you to be like, okay, yeah, but is he judging that like properly and objectively? Just the fact that you've said he or she's the truth, they're like, okay, then that's it. They don't know what her message is. They don't have a clue. But again, because someone that they look and they trust and they admire has said, yes, this is it, they follow.
Yeah, but I feel like you still have to show like proofs in the pudding. You get me? There's still going to be a fight. Say like, what sort of example can I give? Shit, man. You know, like the homies. You know what I'm talking about? Who am I talking about?
The movie.
The Woman King.
Okay, yeah.
All right, cool.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah,
so you see her, yeah? She would have got pure fight back initially in whatever she was doing.
Yeah.
But she's blood, sweat, and tears. Going out there, doing it, going on the missions, patting up. After a while, they seen this bitch is the truth.
Yeah.
Well, you said the film, The Woman King.
Yeah.
But you know
What
that was
she would have
actually...
to prove she's the truth. But once they see she's the
Yeah.
truth, men will rock with it because she's the truth.
But you know what's interesting about that is that that's actually like a true story. That whole thing was inspired by an actual tribe
Yeah,
that actually existed. And when you think about like the mindset in Africa where the men are the leaders, they trusted that again because she could lead.
But the culture allowed for that to be something that was their reality. And I'm saying today in 2023, you don't see any of that. The blueprint hasn't been set for that today. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying to you. If a woman came up through the ranks now, would men all be like, cool, I'm going out to just listen to her. I'm going to do what she's saying.
I don't think all men would because of their ego.
I mean, all
and that's
men
why I say
wouldn't
that,
do any, even if it was a man anyway.
Just, yeah, so that's why I said the men who wouldn't, they wouldn't not because she's not a good leader, but because their ego is fragile. They feel like their ego is bruised. But the irony of that is that, okay, but you never all this ego that you're filled up with now, you never used it to lead. That's why it's extra pathetic.
But the thing is, Esther, you're giving reasons for why they wouldn't do it, which is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Would it still, at the end of the day, result in them not doing it? You see what I'm saying?
They wouldn't do it, but then they wouldn't do it, yeah, but then I don't want to hear anything about... I don't want to hear you complaining about the struggles that we have, because when you have someone there to lead and help us resolve these struggles, you don't want to go because of your ego. Like it doesn't make sense to me. But again, this is why I say that's a them problem. That's a you problem.
Yeah.
It's not anything. It's not because you think she's incompetent. It's not because she's not doing what she needs to do. It's just because, again, when I talk now, they say I'm talking, but some men don't literally see women as subordinate. They don't believe that women can be anything other than what they see, be a child rearer and a child bearer and a child rearer. That's it.
I think a lot of women lead. I don't know why we're talking like this stuff don't happen. A lot of women lead in loads of different places.
No.
I think the majority of black women are doing more than black men.
Absolutely.
They're
doing bits,
in
man.
the social media space. If you just think of who were the loudest and who are actually campaigning more, you kind of see it. The black women are more hyper visible than the black men, right? And I don't know if it's because who I'm following, that might be the case. But who's popping up on all of these legacy media, mainstream media platforms? It's black women mostly, right?
For the most
And
part.
I don't know if it is that they're just basically trying to push an agenda. I haven't got a clue. But if you man, this is a question to you.
Yeah.
Any black men in the UK that you would deem good leaders, right? Where you are concerned about the black community, would you think that black man sees a black woman as his equal or beneath him?
Equal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You would say that, right?
Yeah, because for me to hold that person some type of esteem, they have to be a thinker.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, do you know that in today's society, there are a lot of black men who have a particular leaning towards leaders that don't hold women to that particular esteem?
Yeah, they are. It's better, isn't it?
Maybe that's the problem, no? Because you're in a room right now with two men who rate.
That think rationally.
Yeah. But that's not the vibe out there.
But this is why I posed the question. You see what I'm saying? This is why I was saying, outside of us, in the world today, right? Would the masses follow this leader?
But would we? Who do you want to basically stand beside, though?
But
What
Brent,
type of man?
But Brent, it's not necessarily a case of, because remember, it's the strength in numbers. So sometimes it's not like we're going onto a real life battlefield. You know what I'm saying? Yes, the battle is done it's fought in a different way, right? So it's still a battle, right? But you're still get people coming out who are going to be, you know what I'm
Can I
saying?
ask what the end goal is? When you say battle, like, what is the pursuit? What is this leader leading us to? What's that end goal?
It depends. I can't necessarily say, but
Give me an example.
An example would be, for example, let's just say a stop to police brutality. But there'll be a bunch of different things. You know what I'm saying? So let's just say economic self-reliance, be like black people,
All right, let's stop
stuff.
police brutality.
Okay.
Right? In the last 20 years, to your knowledge, if you were to think of any leaders, any hyper-visible people who were leading that particular charge, which gender was it? Honestly.
Yeah, I'm thinking. It's tough for me to say.
I don't think you can put it down to one, man.
Yeah,
I don't think you can put it down to one. I think it's a joint effort.
Talk to me, because
it's a joint effort because women are at the forefront of most protests.
Let's not simplify this. In fact, I want to simplify this.
Yeah,
I really want to. But when you say it's tough to do this and the next, right? What do you mean?
No, because you were saying over the last 20 years, what gender's at the forefront, and then it's like, I think it's tough to just put it on one and say, oh, it was men or it was women. Because I honestly...
No, I asked, what have you seen the most? Which gender?
Have you seen the most?
Yes.
And again, I'm saying that's tough because that's over 20 years. It's like, there's different people, but women, it's hard, it's tough. Women are always at the forefront of demonstrations and
so is that your answer? Women?
I think it's been a joint effort. That's why I said it's tough.
Stop. I don't want to complicate this.
Okay, go on.
Can you picture any males in your head right now? Right now. Because I know you could picture women very quickly because you just said they're normally at the front. Can you picture any males right now?
Yeah.
Give me one example. One. The image that just popped into your head. Who is it?
Stephen Jackson. Stack. He was really campaigning a lot, but he was George Floyd's brethren. You get me?
You talking about in America?
Yeah.
Let's talk about
in England.
Okay, let's talk about
I don't know, not English people that do anything. Wait, 1 second.
I thought you were talking about UK all the time.
What, the whole time you were just talking about just put it to UK? No,
What are the things that affect us?
Okay, I'm with you. Sorry. UK is really devout of leadership here, and I don't know any. Even people that are at the forefront that have good ideas and good conversations, I wouldn't necessarily call them leaders because I haven't seen them lead anybody to anything. You know what I mean? They just talk. Like, so I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I've always put that out there. Say someone like a Carla, yeah? People will say he would be a good leader. Like, the man's a scholar. He's very smart. He knows he's a good speaker. I haven't seen him lead anybody anywhere. So I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know.
Okay. How about you, Manuel?
Do you know the thing is, right? And I'm seeing in the chat as well, I think people are trying to make this a man versus woman thing, and it shouldn't be. I just want it to be a thing where people are honestly just looking at the situation, right? But to answer your question, I think, like you rightly said, when it comes to police brutality anyway, remember a lot of, again, I'm obviously shining a light on the reality of black community. A bare of us come from single parent households. And that parent is, a lot of the time, is the mother. So when the child is killed or attacked or brutalized by police, the mum who is present is the one who is going to be at the forefront, talking about they did so-and-so to my son, and 100%. But the leadership that you don't always necessarily see, right, that brings certain groups together, that's maybe sitting down and having these meetings with certain MPs and certain things. A lot of these guys are men. I can't necessarily mention them by name and stuff. So this is why I agree with what Mark is saying in that it's fought by both people. It's hard for me to just say this person does it more than this person. I think it's just done in different ways. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how
I didn't say that it wasn't fought by both.
Oh yeah, I know.
I'm just talking about the most hyper-visible, right?
Well, okay. You know what? To maybe answer your question, the hyper-visible, using that word, visibility, there may be women. You know what I'm saying? But again,
why did you pose the question? Do you think men wouldn't follow women? Because I think if it's the right woman,
but this is what
they
he's
will.
been asking. This is what he's been asking.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm trying to say.
And it's also the type of men. You're not going to have like the Kevin Thompsons of the world following women.
If it's the right woman.
No, he's not going to follow any
he said
woman.
He don't care. He already said in the chat.
You say if it's the right woman, you haven't put the first in the
He already said in the chat.
What?
He said there's no woman that's leading him.
Kevin just said don't speak for me, Max.
Lead him to ruins.
Kevin said don't speak for me, Max.
No, but obviously, that man that needs seeing is believing, showing is believing. It'll be an anomaly. It'll be the craziest. But if it's if it's the right person, he'll be surprised. He'll be shocked as well. But he'll follow.
Yeah. He wouldn't
because he's a sensible man. If this person, you see,
debatable.
He'll go against the grain. He's saying if my goals, and what I want for myself selfishly is going to be quicker achieved by following this person here than that person, I think is not that stubborn that he's gonna cut off his nose to spite his face and go that way, because that would be stupid.
You'd be surprised.
Emmanuel,
Yep.
is there a stigma for
You'd be
you
You'd be
surprised.
shocked.
in following a woman anyway?
Me personally.
Yes.
No, but that's not for me though. Not at all. Because again, you can go through history.
See, Kevin just said I would follow someone intelligent. See,
He just look. Kevin said he would follow a woman.
he said he would follow someone
He said
intelligent.
someone. He didn't say a woman that's intelligent.
Wait.
Kevin,
Let's clarify this. Wait, this is a woman. This is.
But Kevin,
No, don't do the horns yet. He definitely
No,
clarified
it's too
a
late. It's
woman.
too late. He's done what he's done. I'm gonna clip this up.
but Kevin's always said I'm about logic.
Wait a minute. Wait. So
I don't
Kevin
think that's
Thompson said that he is going to follow women. That's what he said.
No, he didn't say that.
Bren.
He said, "Yo, I would follow someone intelligent."
My aunt is a mentor. There. Kevin can follow women.
Of course he could. The right woman. Why is he not going to follow no foolishness? Why wouldn't someone follow someone that's smart?
Okay, so we've answered a question, Emmanuel. Even the most low in society in our community.
Don't do it like that.
Don't attach this to Kevin. I'm not talking about Kevin here. Come on, you guys are so simple. This is not where I'm going with this.
Brent's a piece of shit, you know.
I'm watching him. I'm impressed. I'm watching him and I'm
If
impressed.
we can save the lowest of the low again, not Kevin, then brother, there's hope for us yet.
All right, cool.
There is hope for us yet.
I think that's a beautiful thing. But again, historically, you've got Harriet Tubman. You know what I'm saying? You've got Yara Santua. You've got Queen Nzinga. You've got all these black women who led like loads of people. You know what I'm saying? So for me personally, when you're asking me the question, it's not a problem for me. I just need to see that you are the person who can fulfill that role. That's what matters to me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying for the masses. You know what I mean? And then, yeah. Fine.
Wait. I just got sent receipts, right? By Stacey. Kevin said earlier, ain't no woman leading me. She gonna lead me to ruin.
I
or
told
get
you guys
lost.
that.
Wait a minute. What are you doing here?
I told you guys that. That's what he said. That's how I was like, that man is not.
He's a flip flopper.
Oh,
He's a flip flopper. Hashtag simp. Bloody hell.
Like the video, people.
Yeah, he's a like, man. These are still tussling in the chat so early. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, to be honest, Kevin, I didn't see you as the kind of man that would not double down on what he said. That's crazy, man. You think you know a person.
I think men follow women, man. I think women, it just takes a certain, it just takes a certain type of woman.
And to be fair, I feel like sometimes when you do get a woman, it's better because, see, this may come across the wrong way, right? But that woman has to be exceptional. Men can lead and be mediocre. You know what I'm saying? But for a woman to be a leader, she has to be exceptional. And that benefits everybody. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you've seen women lead, Margaret Thatcher, Merkel from Germany, like, and these people who were like some of the most powerful people in the world ever, they've done amazing things, man. You know what I'm saying? People like to hate on Thatcher because she's a Tory and stuff, but she got elected 3 times. There's a reason for it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. All right, cool. I think we can move on.
Let's get it.
Thank you very much. Let's get into our next headline.
All right, so this next headline, takes us all the way to the east, man, with Japan. And basically, what's happened is a panel of the Japanese Justice Ministry, has proposed raising the age of consent from 13 to 16.
Yes, they should. You should do that, man.
Yes, it forms part of a wider overhaul of Japan's laws on sex crimes after multiple rape acquittals in 2019 caused outcry. The proposal also aims to criminalize the grooming of minors and expand the definition of rape. The statute of limitations for reporting rape will also be increased from 15 years from 10 years. Currently, Japan has the lowest age of consent in developed countries and the lowest in the G7 group. In Germany, I didn't even know this, right? In Germany and Italy, the age is 14, you know?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes. In Greece and in France, it's 15. And as you guys know, in the UK and many US states, it's 16. So the current law in Japan means victims of rape need to prove that there was violence and intimidation used during the rape and that it was impossible to resist to secure a conviction. But the panel has not changed the wording, but instead they've added other factors, including intoxication, drugging, being caught off guard, and psychological control into that definition. Justice Ministry official Yusuke Asanuma said that this isn't meant to make it easier or harder for victims to win a rape case, but that it should make verdicts more consistent.
It just shows you human beings are sick. Like anyone who would sexually assault a person is just sick, because how is the age 13 and you're still...
They're so dumb. I don't know what
That's
people...
mad,
you see that, for me personally, like, the age of consent should be up, and it's because, yeah, I don't understand how the age of consent could be 13. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and that opens up too many... Like, I don't even want to give anybody... I don't even want to say that they can't make decisions or whatever, because you're too young for it anyway. But I'm saying that it speaks to people that are manipulative and that, like, you know what I'm trying to say? That, and you know that a 13-year-old's not developed, ain't seen nothing, don't know nothing. So you can get taken advantage of. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So not even on like a physical thing, but you can get coerced into doing something, like made think you want to do something that you don't really want to do. You don't, because you don't know nothing. You're too young for all that. You know what I'm trying to say? That I don't think you should put people in that position. You shouldn't empower people like that. You shouldn't allow a big man to be able to coerce or convince a 13-year-old, 14-year-old girl that she wants to have sex with him. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? That because he's too well versed in them arts for her. Like, that's not a level playing field. You get me? So you should definitely, like, if they should raise it should never be that low.
Does that logic still apply to a 16-year-old though? Well, why is 16?
I think it does.
I don't know, but if you can't you buy cigarettes and thing and drink alcohol and drive and everything else?
Ain't alcohol 18?
Oh, okay, there you go. Why is alcohol? Why you can have sex before you can drink alcohol?
Yeah, it's mad. America's worse. There's 21 to drive, but you can do everything else. No, it's 21 to drink, but you can do everything else before then.
Wow.
That's my thing is, I think 16 is too young to have sex anyway. But that's because there's so much that comes with sex, and this is why I say the solution. The solution for that though is sex education being like.
You can't say 16 is too young for sex.
No, I'm saying. Sorry, I said it. I can say it.
The average person in the world loses their virginity before 16.
No, that's fair, but doesn't make it right.
Doesn't make it wrong either. It wasn't like it was someone, usually it's in your age groups and your age weights and you're growing up and you're doing things. You can't say it's wrong to have sex before 16.
Yeah, but if you speak to people that have sex when they were younger, most people say they wish they waited longer. And this is why I'm saying that I know that obviously, like, this is my personal opinion, that I think that's too young anyway. My personal opinion. However, what I then think to combat that, the fact that it is 16, is sex education being beyond biology, is having real conversation with kids so they know exactly what it is that they're getting into when it comes to these things. That's what I think can sort the issue out. It's gonna be 16 because I'm not the one ruling the land. If I was ruling the land, different.
You forget where it was to grow up, like adolescence and hormones and that. So if it's two 15-year-olds, what's the problem?
I already think it's too young anyway. I think it's too young to be having sex at that age. I think there's so much that's attached to sex for 16-year-olds to be trusted with that. My opinion, but this is why I'm saying that I think what needs to change is sex education. In terms of, I think a lot more kids need to understand what it is that they are getting involved with when it comes to sex. They're just told to. I just feel like there's no middle ground of proper understanding when it comes to it. You're just told, well, there's a risk of pregnancy, risk of STIs, is biological, and that's it. I feel like there's just so much more that can go into that education.
When you know better, you do better. So you're always supposed to educate, innit? So it helps to educate sexual education, sexual health, you got to be responsible, all of these things. There's so much that go into it. But again, we always do this stuff where we move like I don't know, like, I get it, like, it's 2023, but this shit's been going on from the beginning of the time. Like, the adolescents, the teenagers, and that, kids have been fucking forever. Everybody's been fine, it's all right. When it's adults touching kids and stuff, I get you, that's different. But you can't just, like, this is life, this is what kids do, animals, mammals, this is normal shit.
No, but the thing is, two things can be true at once. That is absolutely valid, because that is the reality of what we're living in. But I'm saying, in my personal opinion, that's what I don't think that's a good age, because of everything else that's involved with it. But I am aware that I live in a world where things do happen. This is why I say that sex education needs to be a lot more thorough and needs to cover a lot more stuff than just the basics. Because too many people, when you speak to them, then they don't understand. And when you ask them if you could go back, would you do things differently? A lot of people say that. A lot more people than not say that if they could, they would have waited till they were older. And there's a reason for that, because there's something missing in the way that they're educated and they're spoken to about sex. And that is the gap that is what needs to be filled. So yeah, of course, I don't have, I don't have any what's it called, say on the laws that are passed or whatever. But I do think that sex education needs to be better. And this is also why you need to not rely on it on schools to teach it, because if you want it to be better, then you've got to take that on in your house.
We just pick and choose what when we want to care about ages and that. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's pressure. Like, how would you have got to be to join the army? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you can go out there and die for your country. You can go out there and kill. You can send you to go and kill
I don't agree with that either.
But it's childish. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, we're talking about how young is young. Like, everybody's different. I watched them I watched them make a young boy who's never took a penalty in his life, 19-year-old, take one in the final in front of the world. You get me? Miss it and then get abused and that. Was he ready for that? Is that all right? If he's old enough for that, well, what's he not ready for? If he's allowed to do that, what ain't he allowed to do?
But this is what I'm saying. There's a lot, like, this is the thing, because I don't agree with, I don't know what age it is that you can join the army or whatever, but I don't agree with that either. I think that there's a lot that, there's so much people are not educated about and actually fully informed of before they get involved with it. Even when it comes to alcohol, kids are just told, oh yeah, you're 18 now, you can drink. There needs to be proper education about that. All these things, even when it comes to smoking, I think you can be 16 to smoke cigarettes. Or I think 18. Is it 18 now? Yeah, 18. Like, all these things, there needs to be more conversations had about it. I'm not what's the word? I'm realistic in knowing that these things will happen. Whether the age is raised to 25 or whatever it is, things are going to happen when they're going to happen. But what I'm saying is that what can be controlled is the education that goes into it. There's just so much with these things.
I don't agree with that.
That is just like, it's just gone.
Sorry, not yes. Speak for yourself. Let's say if I could say 15, if I could say 13, 14, 15 is too young, then I can understand that 16 is too young. I don't believe that. I don't know what it is, but I just don't believe that. I finished school at 15. Yeah, I never had no more. I never done further education. My schooling was done. I never had nothing else to do. That's it. I'm out, plopped onto the streets, no commitments, free as a bird. As a 15-year-old, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, as a 16-year-old, going on to 17, I've been living by myself. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say? Since I've been 15, I've been out here. It's not adulting because obviously, but essentially though, do you know what I'm trying to say? No, but what am I not allowed to do? Like, who are you talking to? What am I not allowed to do? I can do anything I want, man. I'm a big man. Yeah, within reason. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
but in an ideal world, you're a big man because you had to be a big man. In an ideal world, you shouldn't have been a big man at that age.
It's true.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? So just because, you end up being a big man and obviously you're great now, doesn't mean that that's not everyone's story. Yeah. Some people are forced to be big men and big women, and that is what causes the death of them. It destroys them.
Yeah, that's true.
To when they're 60s, they can't recover from that. Do you get me? So this is why I'm saying that, again, obviously you have people who are very, very mature at the age of 14. Like, do you know what I mean? Who are very, very mature in these things, and that's understandable. But what I'm saying, what society can manage and what they can control, if society can, which they don't, is the education. And this is why I said, don't also rely on just schools teaching your kids stuff. You have to teach them in the home. Have proper conversations. The conversations I'm going to have with my kids, the sex education, is going to be very real. It's going to be very honest. It's nothing with like, it's going to be very real. So you understand there's so much more to these things. Like, I know even as the age I'm at, there's stuff that I still learn. Because again, that education in and out of the home was not given to me. So my thing is just about proper education. Oh crap! Education.
Can I ask something? Yeah. Can I ask something? Yeah. Like, this just came to me. Yeah. Tell me if you think this is a stupid idea. Yeah. But do you feel like with sex education? Sorry, not sex education, but the consent, right? Age for sex and stuff. Do you feel like it should maybe come with some type of ID pass, so where parents can be like, you know what? I've not signed you off, but like,
you can have sex.
Yeah, you're allowed. And on your ID, because you're 16, only allows you to have sex with someone from 16 to 19, for example. So if a guy, for example, who's older than that has sex with you and it's proof, that guy is a rapist.
But it's pointless. It was flawed. It won't get used anyway because kids ain't gonna wait for their parents to sign it off to consent and have sex anyway. You're not allowed to have sex from before 16. Kids are fucking from 14 and 13 anyway.
And I don't want my kids having sex at 16, so I'm not saying nothing.
So it doesn't matter. But even if you did, it wouldn't do anything. It's just like front facing, like behind. It's not going to change anything because kids ain't waiting for no. Kids are fucking. They're not allowed. They're fucking without permission. Anyway, what are you talking about? They're not supposed to be doing this. What are you trying to say? Like,
and it wouldn't even stop rapists and everything anyway. Because there's already laws they're facing prison, and they're still not stopped.
No, but I think I think a lot of that's true.
A consent form is what's going to stop me. They're not going to care.
But I think it can. Right. The reason why, and another angle to hit this, is like I don't really know the religious beliefs in Japan, right? But in certain parts of the world, let's just talk about Nigeria, for example, in the north, highly Muslim area and all that type of stuff. Like young girls get married, 13, for example. It's not foreign for a 13-year-old to get married back there. Like, how can you then say to those people, the age for consent is 16? You know what I'm saying?
I think it's wild that literally how you just said that literally is giving me like shivers. It's giving me shivers because your body is not even developed at 13 for me to be pregnant at 14 because these kids they go on to have kids like
But in
away.
England back in the day,
It's
Industrial
mad.
Revolution times, like they was marrying their kids off at 15 and 9, innit? 14, 15 and 16, those kind of things. Yeah. Normal.
This society just learned more about, they've evolved and learned more and other
I think the
societies
sentiments
haven't.
and stuff change, innit? People who lived life,
crazy, man.
people who lived life before us, we can't judge them. That's the
Yeah.
truth of it all. We can't judge them. You know what I'm trying to say? That, and we're probably more in keeping with what we're supposed to be here for. I don't think there was as not sentimental, but they weren't as like it was more hardcore those times. It's more in keeping with like animals, like mammals, and the way the animal kingdom is, and rearing for when you're rearing children and breeding, you go for the young thingy healthy one. So that's probably their
how old
mindset.
is
They're just
Mary in the
thinking,
Bible? She was young,
15, 16, that's right for me. She's good. Hey, that's what they're thinking. Until you get older and you live through more life, and then you see the mistakes that these kids are making at 15, 16, 17, and you're like, nah, you know what? They're not ready yet. Maybe it's got to be older. Do you get what I'm trying to say? That, and then obviously, but certain cultures didn't follow that path. Certain cultures have been living because again, you might look at it and say it's disgusting. Boom, boom, boom. There's people in Japan that's been marrying a 13-year-old gad from the beginning of time and staying in 20-year marriages and shit, and things have been fine. You know what I'm trying to say? That for them, it's not been nothing untoward. That's their culture. That's how they live. That's been fine. That's their marriage, perfect, normal family. It's us from the outside looking and saying, nah, rah ta 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 ta. That's wrong. You get me? So it's all a bit weird.
All right. Well, our next headline is it's a follow-up of something that we spoke about last week, I believe. And basically, a group of Anglican church leaders from around the world have ousted the Archbishop of Canterbury as their head, following the decision to allow the blessing of same-sex couples in England. So the GSFA, which is the Global South Fellowship of Anglican Churches, right, it's a worldwide organization, has said in a statement that it no longer considers Justin Welby, who's the Archbishop of Canterbury, to be the leader of the global communion, and it has disqualified the Church of England from being its mother church. Earlier this month, the General Synod, which is the Church of England's Legislative Assembly, passed a motion to allow the blessing of same-sex couples in civil partnerships. The GSFA said it speaks for 75% of Anglicans across the world, officially representing 25 member provinces, mainly in Asia, Latin America, and Africa. And in its statement released yesterday, the group accused the Church of England of taking the path of false teaching and going against the historical biblical faith by allowing same-sex blessings, adding that this breaks our hearts. They said the Archbishop had sadly led his House of Bishops to make the recommendations for blessing gay couples, knowing that they run contrary to the faith and order of the Orthodox provinces in the communion. Referring to Mr. Welby, they said, "We pray that our withdrawal of support for him to lead the whole communion is received by him as an admonishment, in love." The GSFA added that this has caused a leadership crisis and they're now working to reset the communion. The signatories include the GSFA's chair, Archbishop Justin Baddy, along with the Archbishops of Chile, the Indian Ocean, Congo, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Uganda, Sudan, Alexandria, and Melanesia. And the next headline, I wanted this to be in Done Out Ere, but just talk about it now.
This person not the first of the kind, boy.
This guy is insane. But anyway, a transgender. When I was reading this, I can't remember what Brent was saying to me another time, but we'll get into that after. So, a transgender killer.
We will.
Brent is like, why am I here?
50-cent meme.
Right.
It's a trigger warning here as well. A transgender killer who is locked up in a woman's jail says that she fears she will not survive if moved to a men's prison. Sophie Eastwood, who was formerly known as Daniel, was jailed at Dumfries Young Offenders Institution for dangerous driving at the age of 18. She was a month away from the end of her sentence when she strangled her cellmate, who was 22.
Oh.
Yeah, can you imagine, a month away, right, to death with shoelaces in 2004. Eastwood is now 38, and she began transitioning while in prison in 2017, and is being held at HMP Courts and Vale, which is Scotland's only all-female jail. The prison has found itself at the centre of a row over transgender inmates, as we know, because of the convicted rapist Isla Bryson that we spoke about before, right? Who attacked 2 women while living as a man and was initially housed there. In the wake of the controversy, which dragged Nicola Sturgeon's position as First Minister into turmoil, the Scottish Prison Service announced a full case review for every transgender person currently in custody. Now Eastwood, who has also claimed she identifies as a baby,
She's going back to the kids' jail, innit? Must be, girl.
Right. Has revealed she's worried she will not survive in a male prison if she was moved. Speaking to the Daily Record, Eastwood described how prior to being moved to Court and Vale, which is the female prison where she's at now, she was threatened by her male cellmates. She said the main threat was that I would suffer serious sexual violence. It was a relief to be moved to the female estate where I felt safe and I've gained the trust of fellow prisoners. I think Scottish Prison Service staff manage trans prisoners well, but it would be impossible for me to feel safe in a male prison.
Why was she saying? Because all these men just want me.
Basically.
Yeah, but they don't want you in a consensual way. They want to assault her.
So before, when she was a man in the man's jail, she was fine. They didn't want. They didn't.
Because she wasn't trans then. Yeah. She wasn't a woman then.
But then all of a sudden now he's transitioned. Now they just want his booty.
Yeah, because it's all part of the bullying and stuff that goes on.
So when he transitioned, did he make himself a leng as well? Is that what he done?
No, it's all part of the bullying, because when you identify as
he's
trans...
He's capping. He's moving like they just want me up. They just want me. He think get me out of here. All these men just want me. Allow it, brother. He is capping.
Nah, man, don't be silly. No. Because when you're like... no, this can't...
You think... I've been in prison. So there's a don on the wing, yeah? There's a don on the wing. And he was fine doing his time, yeah? And then one day he stepped out the cell and said, you, man, I'm a gal now. And the man then went, whoa, to wit, to woo. We need you. That's what happened.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me like I owe you anything.
Okay. Anyway, sorry, as you were.
All right.
So does this babe think that saying I'm a baby now means you go back to like...
I have no idea.
The young people's prison?
I have no idea. But there's no baby prison in it.
So I'm free. You have to be free. You have to just let this one slide.
It's crazy though.
I want to know why she killed her thingy though. Her cellmate.
Yeah.
A month to your end.
A month, yeah. Such a waste of life, isn't it?
I understand with self-defense.
And you know what's even worse about this situation? Yeah. Well, I guess we can say it's bad now in 2023. You don't know what's happening in 2025, right? But at the moment, it seems crazy to us, right? It's basically the prison guards, was giving her a dummy. When she was saying, they gave her a dummy. Right?
Human rights, Abby.
The person she also asked for nappies and baby food.
Did they give
I'm not too sure if they gave the nappies and the baby food, right? But
nappies to do what in? You piece of shit. You're gonna wet yourself.
Right, well, the nappy.
Because you're a baby. Even babies get potty trained.
Well, this is before the potty training.
So how old is she now?
Maybe,
2 months?
Maybe 2.5, 3, max.
How can you ask for a nappy?
3 months max.
How can you ask for a nappy? You know what? Yeah. I was going to say live your truth in it.
Yeah.
But asking for a nappy...
And baby food.
Baby food is fine, because adults eat baby food because they're on a diet. That's fair. Okay. But asking for a nappy when there's a toilet looking you right in the face,
right there,
because you're saying that you're a 3-month-old baby now.
Not 3 months, but yeah, you know.
Nah, but she's going through the stages.
That's true.
She's not at the point of being toilet trained yet. So she has to do it. So who's cleaning your bum?
This is what I'm saying.
They're so
it's crazy.
And Fanan, this is just an example that we're talking about, a topic that we're talking about, headlines that we're talking about, just related to this. Not all trans people.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure, isn't trans got nothing to do with going into, like, what's the word, man? Transitioning into a baby.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, you know.
No, this is
about the baby nonsense.
This is just about the baby and wearing a nappy so you can wet yourself when there's a toilet looking at you.
Exactly. Asking for dummies. Grown-ass woman. Asking for dummies. And what are we doing there?
I can't even give her the dummy. The dummy one is one. I told you guys about at one time. I read an article on some man with like 2-3 kids. Proper like worker. Like he works in the city, everything, and decided, told his wife that, you know what, I'm a baby. And he was actually being treated. Was it a baby or was he? No, he was a baby. He had a nappy on too. A grown-ass man, had a nappy on too. And told his wife, like, I'm a baby now. And he was proper there, like, playing with his kids as, like, the younger sibling.
What is going on there? What is going on there?
Yeah. You can transition to anything you want to transition to, but if you're a grown-ass adult that should be contributing to the taxes, and you're telling me you're a baby, you're not a baby. The nappy request is what's pitting me. I'm sorry. So you're going to wet yourself.
Yeah.
Do babies get tax exemptions?
I was literally just thinking that, But babies don't work.
She will. So babies don't work, and babies can't go to prison. So she's like, I'm a baby now. You guys have got to release me, otherwise this is against my human rights.
Well, technically, if they accept as that she's a baby, then they have to let her out.
That's release her. That's why she's going with it.
And people want to be defending this nonsense.
Oh, there you go.
You know what I'm saying? And funny enough, a source from the Scottish Prison Service.
I don't think anybody's defending this nonsense.
I hope not.
This is what I said, Not everybody is in any community in this society, not everybody is on code. You can't be. Because whilst people in the LGBTQ community are actually fighting for proper things, because they are getting killed and whatever, and all the mad things happen to them, then you got someone saying, actually, I want to identify as a baby.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Be for real.
And even the Scottish Prison Service, a source from there basically told the paper that this prisoner has been difficult and manipulative over the years, which is why she's still behind bars after 17 years.
I think she's doing it on purpose. She's doing it so she can get released, because you can't jail babies. And the fact that they messed up because they gave her a dummy. So they've already accepted she's a baby. She's getting released. She's going to get released.
Yeah, and this person basically said she decided she was trans from a man to a woman, which is becoming more common in jails these days. I didn't say this. This is what the source of the Scottish Prison Service said.
You didn't add that bit because we knew you were reading.
Sorry. No, because people will say, I am saying so and so.
That's true.
The critical thinking went down again. But anyway, this is obviously something this is obviously something else entirely. The Scottish Prison Service has no protocol in place for dealing with prisoners who decide they are babies. Yeah. The source claimed Eastwood's continued imprisonment has nothing to do with her gender, but is because she refuses to play by the rules or prepare for rehabilitation.
Yeah, that's mad, man. This is my issue as well.
Antonia, man, and KB, man, respect their pronouns, man.
This is my thing, because that's the thing,
though. Just respect their pronouns, man. Come on, man. I'll be honest with you, I'm not asking you to pretend and take part in make-believe and kayfabe or nothing like that, because I know it's a brother. So, you get what I'm trying to say? That it's a brother. But respect people's pronouns. If he wants to be referred to as she, just call him. She was doing it for you. Who cares? Who gives a fuck?
It literally makes no difference.
It makes no difference to anybody. At least of all to him.
Yes, Minister.
Yeah.
Not yes, Minister.
No, I'm just saying.
No, but that's the thing though, because also as well, people like this, the whole adult baby. This is what all it does for me, in my opinion, anyway. It takes away from the actual struggle that the community are facing. Do you get what I mean? Because people hear a story like this, and some people will hang on to a story like this, and then kind of use it as the umbrella for everybody, and then it's foolishness at its highest order. That is ridiculous.
100%.
He's gonna get free though. Or she's gonna get free.
Do you know? This may sound.
They
crazy.
gave her a dummy, man.
This may sound crazy.
They're indulging.
This may sound crazy coming from me, but I feel like the Scots will see sense and say, "This is full. You've gone too far."
I want to see. I want to know who gave her a dummy and what was the thought process behind it.
I even think potentially
she bought it.
That they're gonna put her in a man's prison.
Do you think so?
I think so. They put Isla Bryson in a man's prison, didn't they?
But then, did they put him in a secure place?
They might have done. No, but they put her in a men's prison.
Because what I think they should, but I think that's dangerous if you're gonna be roaming with men.
Yeah, they might.
If you identify as a woman, I think you should then be in a different space. So if it's a case where with her as well, they take her back to the men's prison, then I feel like there should be a wing for the men that identify as women but have to be in men's prison. Because I do think it is dangerous. Because again, this is the thing. When you have people, I know we reported on someone who actually just said it because they didn't want to go to the men's prison. But when you have people who do stuff like that and take the piss, you can't tell the real from the fake. It ruins for everybody else. And that is dangerous. Because that is a real thing.
You know why I'm so dumb?
What happened?
I'm got confused as well. I thought I was mixing up stories. This is still the same story, innit?
Yeah.
What is the other one from a couple of weeks ago?
No, well, we just this person's transitioned twice.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the second
story,
transition.
yes.
So she transitioned from a man to woman,
And then
now a woman to baby.
To baby.
I'm here now.
Well, a female baby.
A girl baby, yeah.
It's a girl baby.
I think,
Yeah.
because it's still she. Still got the same name and that.
How does she know her name? She's 3 months. Do you know, let's go to the next headline. I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm actually done with this.
This brother's cold.
And this baby can read, you know.
Wait. And baby can talk and ask for a dummy but wants a nappy. The baby can actually voice and say, I would like some baby food and a dummy or and a nappy if you have it. Full sentences. No baby talk.
This baby's a genius.
Straight educated, yeah. One of its kind.
Yeah,
Crazy, man.
I'm done with the headlines, man.
That's all done. All right, let's get to Word on Road. All right, so basically, guys, there was a video. So you guys know that at the moment, the whole YSL the gang is under investigations for like countless of charges. I can't even keep up anymore, if I'm being honest with you guys. But basically, something that I think is very dangerous happened over the weekend. So there's a YSL Woody. I guess everyone's just a YSL these days. Hello YSLs, I never heard of. But it's kind of like the ASAPs, to be fair. But yeah, so YSL Woody, right? He's one of, the YSL member. And basically, he was interrogated because remember, a lot of them got arrested. Imagine the police have released a video of his interrogations, 3.5 hours long. Of course, I did not watch it. But they've actually released a video on YouTube, proper clear footage of him being interrogated by 2 officers where he's snitching on Young Thug.
They're wicked.
And YSL.
They want him dead.
They want him dead. They want him dead. They have to want him dead. And my thing is as well, because the police always talk about, people don't come forward. Why would anyone come forward if they can say they can't trust you to give tea? I think that is the wildest thing. Like I actually hope he's all right and does not get killed, man, because that is wild. But this guy though, the memes have been ridiculous as well. The memes have been endless. It's been there's basically the part of the video, yeah. So he basically says to them, like, I could give you guys some information, but I need you guys, the clips I saw, I need you guys to promise me that you can make something happen. And they're like, listen, we're not the district attorney. We can let them know that you helped us and hopefully something can come out of it, but we can't actually make any promises. Do you know what he does? He goes there and talks anyway. He didn't even say go and find out. He said, all right then. And at one point he's like, hey, do you know what? He's like, I can even do you one better. I can tell you about a murder that's happening tonight. You know the clip here of
He never said that.
He did.
Who are we talking about?
YSL Woody.
This couldn't have happened.
In real life, she did. In real life, it's a video on YouTube.
Yeah, because he was moving like me. There's a bit where he's saying he don't want to. If he could give you information, but he ain't going to jail.
Yeah, but and they said we can't promise that. He said we can talk to the DA, but then you know what's mad? He didn't say, okay, go and talk to DA and come back. That's usually what happens in the movies.
Yeah, see,
he said, I'll tell you then.
That's why I didn't cut my deal.
But what's killing me, yeah. All right, I'm gonna skip past that. What's killing me, yeah. What's killing me is that he said, okay, do you know what? Yeah, I can tell you about something happened. Like I can let you know how valuable I really am. I'll tell you about a murder that's happening right now. He even said, do you know what he said? He said he could FaceTime Jeffrey. That's Young Thug. He said, I can FaceTime him right now and get you the details live, like right now. But have you guys seen the video of Kanye, yeah? This is after the whole being cancelled thing, yeah? Where he's talking to TMZ and he's like, I spoke to a doctor and he's like, I'm not going to say where the doctor's from because, you know, I'm not allowed to say that anymore. Then he goes, he was Jewish.
Yeah,
in like 0.1 second. They didn't even ask him. He said, I can't tell you who the doctor was because, you know, I'm not allowed to say that anymore.
Oh, man.
He was Jewish. That's exactly what YSL Woody did. Because they said to him, I can tell you about a murder that's happening right now. He's like, if you did, and they were like, no, we can't do that. He said, okay, well, this is who they're trying to kill, and this is where they want to do it, and blah, blah. He's like, I can get more. He's like, I don't know what car they're going to take, and blah, blah. He was even talking about how, like, you know, Young Thug is usually very smart, but he was like, this guy, he defo wants him. But he never actually said Young Thug. But when they said, are you talking about Jeffrey, blah, blah, Young Thug, he was like, he basically nodded his head. But there's a meme here going around where basically you can see him in the camera. This is like before the people came in, and he's checking his pulse in the camera, yeah.
What, Woody?
Yeah.
Checking whose pulse?
He's paused.
Why?
He's just walking around and he's like, and it's almost like he snitched so heavy I had to check that he was still alive.
Oh man.
Honestly, but I do fear for his safety. And also apparently so people found his Instagram obviously, and they saw that the same outfit he had on, all the way down to the hat that he had on in the video. He made it out that day. It's that same day, you know, because he's got a picture that he posted after all of that happened, talking about being loyal and stuff. There's captions.
This is crazy.
But I do hope that he is safe, because that's wild to me. It's very wild. But basically, it just sparked a whole snitching stuff going on, and people were like, "Oh, people need to apologize to Gunnar because if this is what some people were doing." But people were like, "Yeah, but Gunnar, we heard Gunnar say, you know, he wasn't part of YSL the gang. He basically let them know there was a YSL the gang." Mm. But it was all madman. But yeah, he basically said there was some guy that they wanted to kill. What's the guy's name? Oh, Kell. And he said, yeah, that, you know, essentially Thug is kind of obsessed with this guy and wants to get rid of him. But he was like, usually young Thug thinks very smart. But he was like, because he really wants this guy dead, he's been slacking. Yeah, that's where he checks his pulse. How can you check your own pulse?
What are you checking his pulse?
I don't know why he's doing that. But you're walking, you're fine. But yeah, man, it's really, really mad. I think it's so dangerous that they did that. People are not going to come forward to help them. Mm-hmm. If this is what you're going to do with all of that stuff, it's mad. It's proper mad. But there was someone else I was going to talk about actually with snitching as well. Because apparently T.I. recently came out and said something about he told on his cousin. Mm. Yeah, he told on his cousin, and his cousin's dead now. Yeah. But he basically told on his cousin, snitched on his cousin to help him get a better deal so he doesn't go to jail. Yeah. And then apparently he and Boozy were meant to do an album together. Mm. And Boozy was on a podcast and he said he doesn't understand why T.I. will just come out and free up that information that he's a snitch. And he was like, he doesn't work with snitches, and so that album is done. He's not doing an album.
Sorry, what happened?
T.I. came out and said how he snitched on his cousin so that he wouldn't get time like that.
T.I. snitched on his own cousin?
His
yeah.
dead cousin.
Yeah. His dead cousin. His cousin's dead now.
See, you know, what's that
That's
guy?
low.
Do you know what it is though? It's because it started from...
Was the guy dead before or after he snitched?
No, he was dead. He was dead at the time.
Don't matter, man. Bring dragging man's name through the dirt in the courthouse.
But he said he was allowed to.
He's already dead.
Who said he was allowed
to? His cousin said he was allowed to.
Yeah,
what, when he was alive?
No, when he was dead.
It started... You know, there's one guy, I think his name's Gangster something, yeah? He's part of like... He's Birdman and Young Money and them guys. Cash Money, yeah? Mm. He's like Birdman's half-brother, innit? Like, he's a proper known guy in New Orleans, innit? And basically, he was doing life. Proper, like, I think he was in like pen for like 20 plus years already, yeah? Mm. But then to get out, he started telling on certain murders, innit? Saying it was these particular guys. But everyone he mentioned was dead. So he's come out now, he's closed up the cases, whatever, and Birdman and them now say, no, we don't want nothing to do with you. Because obviously, like you said, like you rightly said, he's obviously like throwing dirt on people's name and whatnot, just to get yourself free. Mm. So they've like cut ties with him. Boosie was responding to that, right? And basically said, yeah, I used to have respect for the same gangster. I think his name Gangster Williams or something like that.
I know what you're talking about. I watched it on Vlad.
There you go.
Yeah.
And exactly. So Boosie was vexed, right? And then it's come out now that T.I.'s done the same thing, but Boosie and T.I. was meant to do an album together.
Boosie saying no, he's not doing it no more.
This is what I think S is basically saying. Yeah. So Vlad asked him the same question. Do you basically have that same standard for T.I.?
And he said, yeah. I said, yeah. He said that album's not happening anymore.
But has it been confirmed though? Because I think the last thing I saw was that Boosie was saying that if it's the case, it won't come out.
I saw a video where he said that it's not happening.
Okay.
Yeah. I maybe it was because the guy said, oh, so is the album happening? He said, no, the album's not happening. That's basically what he said. It's crazy, man. Yeah. But at least Boosie stays. I mean, I don't agree with that, man. He gets my damn nerves. He always takes paracetamol for everyone else's headache, and always telling people how to raise their kids. And I don't know what his situation is with his kids, if he has any. But yeah. But at least he stays true to his word. So that's that. So I wanted to report as well on Brad Pitt, another white man, minding his business with a young babe. So obviously he and I'm about to say Angelina Jolie.
They've been together forever.
Yeah, they broke up. They're divorcing.
I said they ain't been together forever.
Yeah, but the divorce is not finalized yet. But he's basically going out with a woman, who also, her name's Inez. Yeah, Inez. I think that's how you say it. But basically, she's 30 years younger than him. So he's 59, she's 29. But she's also a divorcee. So she's also going for a divorce.
I love that for Brad.
What, that he's back out in the game, in the streets.
John's 30 years younger than him. Fucking hell.
I do think when you get to a certain age, though, you definitely can go younger.
No, it's just, it's Brad Pitt, man.
She looks like their age mates, but...
Is it?
Oh, man. Serious.
Let me see that.
She don't look like...
Oh, yeah. She looks like she's ready to go.
Yeah, okay, not ready to go. She don't look 29 at all. So you wouldn't know a thing. You wouldn't know a thing until I told you. But so what's it called? So apparently their relationship is serious, and he's introduced her to like most of his 6 kids, and he intentionally does not care what Angelina thinks and all that kind of stuff. But I thought it was cute. I like keeping up with white men and their escapades. So I thought I'd report on that. What do you guys feel like a divorce has to be finalized before you start dating again?
Nah.
Because when I'm out the house, if we separated and I'm at the house, if we leave separately now,
let's have it right.
I'm back on the streets.
Brad at least slammed one thing while he was married, so
for starters, anyway.
You need to wait for the divorce to be finalized as well. Like, who cares?
Because people always do that when they basically say. Obviously, I do think there is a risk though of the person running back, that going back to their partner, and I think once you accept that, then whatever happens, you just have to deal with it. I'm aware of that. If I dated a guy who said I'm separated, actually, no, I wouldn't. No, well, for personal reasons. But anyways, if you date someone who's in the process of still getting a divorce or whatever, I'll be honest with you, I need receipts. Let me come to the next court hearing and let me know that this is really going on. Because a lot of men be talking about, oh, no, we're separated, we're not really together. Oh, really? That's why I used the word having hot chocolate yesterday, the other evening. To be like, oh no, it's Christmas for the kids though. Shut up. I don't believe all of that. But yeah, man, you gotta check your mirrors, man. And then also, in good news, Alison Hammond is engaged. So she is a presenter. I think she's absolutely hilarious. I was watching a clip of all her funny moments the other day, and she is just too damn funny. Like, the maddest things actually happen to her all the time. One time she fell in water. One time she pushed some guy. It was just ridiculous. But yeah, so she's on this morning and she's engaged. And it's interesting because we know this because her future father-in-law is the one that's spilling the tea. So basically, she's engaged to her gardener, which I think is really cute. His name is Ben Hawkins, and apparently they've been dating secretly for about 1.5 years, close to 2, and they're engaged. And so her father-in-law was the one talking to Mail Online, and he said, "I do know they have been proposed to one another. There are no signs of a ring, blah blah." And he said how she's such a lovely person to have in the family. He said, "I love Alison to bits. She's the nicest woman we've ever met." This is the part that I think is very ironic, right? He says, remember again, he's talking exclusively to a publisher, telling him that she's engaged, right? Then he goes on to say this in the interview. He says, "I would love to tell you a load of stories and they're all good, but I can't because she's asked us to keep things private. Yet here you are. Here you are, opening your mouth." It's crazy. But yeah, man, it's really, really cute. I really like her. I think she's really, really, really good vibes. So congratulations to her if that is the case. Neither of them are wearing rings. So basically, I was talking to my cousin yesterday, yeah? And I basically decided that when I get engaged, I'm getting my man a ring. Because I think it's order that people get to know that I'm engaged and I'm cleared off the market. But they don't know that he's engaged. I think we both need a sign.
If the wedding don't happen and he wants to keep it,
that's fine, because I'm keeping mine too, bitch. Let's keep the presents that we got each other. See what I did there? Keep the presents we got each other. But yeah, I'm gonna get my man an engagement ring. Okay. And then when it comes to,
you're not gonna propose though, innit? You're just gonna just.
I told you guys, I'd rather eat denim jacket than propose. I would never, ever in my life propose. There's like he could be dying. You better with your last breath propose to me, because I ain't doing it. Nope, not me, not I.
If he was dying, you don't want to get married to him, though.
No, because you've got money. I have to be in the will. I'm a woman in business. You got to know, man. But yeah, I was saying that yesterday. But neither Alison nor her husband nor her fiance are wearing rings. But I just remembered that because that conversation I was having yesterday. So whoever's gonna marry me, prepare to have a ring on your finger. So the next thing I'm going to read here, trigger warning, because this is horrible. Very, very horrible. Very, 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 very horrible. So Dr. Shola, right, who does a lot to speak on the foolishness that goes on in this society, to speak on racism, like she does a lot of like public speaking to of like just the injustices that go on. She's a very strong and beautiful woman who does what needs to be done and speaks up for injustices at any levels, at whatever it could be, and always does whatever she can do to help the community. She received a threatening letter. Not a threat like, if you don't stop talking, I'm going to kill you. So trigger warning, right? She actually received, the letter said, by the way, this is just a death notice. We are going to come and kill you and your husband, and it named all of them and your children. It's mad. I'm going to read part of the... Shall I read the whole letter? Let me read it so you people can understand what I'm talking about. So the letter... And also the letter was hand-delivered, no stamp, no nothing, through her letterbox. So they know where she lives. The letter says, this is National Action London Cell. We are watching you. Shola, you are a constant troublemaker and liar who appears on television frequently. You make a shabby living from criticising and race grifting against ethnic white Europeans and our culture. We have placed you on our kill list and intend to kill you, your children and your husband, and then name the husband. You have gone too far and it is now time for you to pay the price. You are a filthy, ugly, troublemaking nigger with a hard ER. You look like a gorilla and probably smell just like one. What is that thing on your head? It looks like a turd, a big lump of shit. We are looking forward to seeing your blood spill. You are somebody who should never be allowed to breathe out air and take up space in our country. You are a dreg of the multicultural society, a filthy, ugly African black monkey. This makes me so uncomfortable. A lying Yoruba monkey who lives in a nice house with a nice big garden. We are watching you. We have followed you around and they put her area. We know your movements. This is a serious notice from National Action London. We are notifying you of our intention to kill you and your family. We do not consider this to be murder. You are all filthy parasitic monkeys. We have guns and knives that are watching your house. We will be following you as you walk around your area. You have been allowed into this country and you have no place here. You are a woman who clearly belongs in Africa with your own filthy kind. You have a nice house in and they put the area. We suggest you leave the UK ASAP. This is the only way you can avoid what is coming to you. You need to hide because your details have been circulated to others on the internet. Violent nationalist activists, black shirts and others. It is only a matter of time, Adeshola, before you receive your punishment, your execution. And a caption said, I have received a serious threat from National Action London, notifying me of their intention to kill me and my family. They name my husband and home address. They don't consider killing me murder. They call it an execution. This letter was through my front door. This is Britain. And she also said how she gets, like, she's been getting like a lot of like drop calls where she picks up and then no one says anything or whatever. But she says she gets emails such as this, and she put up an example. And the email, the name, it says, go back to Africa, fucking nigger ape. And the email is from fuckniggers@kkk.com. And the subject says, niggers are subhuman fucking animals. And the message is, I hate fucking shit skin nigger apes. If every nigger on earth was dead, the world would be a better place. It's mad because basically people were then saying, I hope, like, report to this police or whatever. In 2014, or was it 2017? In recent years, there was a Met Office police officer who actually belongs to this group that was convicted. He was found out and he was convicted. So how on earth, like, even if she was to report it to police, what is to say that they will be able to protect her?
Nothing gonna happen to her.
It's mad. Nothing. The thing is, yeah, because there's another woman as well who was in her comments who said actually she just received a letter. She received a letter an hour ago, and she actually tweeted before Dr. Shola tweeted saying, "I just got this letter." Like, even if nothing's gonna happen, yeah, to get this through your front door, hand delivered, they spelt out your address, they spelt out your husband's name, they know your children, they know where you live. That is so scary. I can't even imagine it. But I pray for her safety. That's all one can do. But it's mad.
It's just scaremongering tactics, man. They ain't gonna do nothing.
It's mad.
You never know, though, man.
That's the
Nah,
thing.
you
You
do
can't
know,
you can't
'cause
take
they
chances
wouldn't
like
do
you.
that. They
Nah,
would've
you
done
do
it
not
ages
know.
ago.
I think
People get killed for less, man.
To be fair, yeah.
Firstly, that's never happened.
To be fair,
We don't know.
yeah.
It's never happened.
To
We
be
do not
fair,
know.
yeah,
There's
I
racist
don't
killings. Sorry,
Yeah,
Iman.
there
There's
was a
racist killings
journalist-
that happen.
There was a journalist assassinated.
That's Joe Dando.
Yeah. And there was another one.
And you know the Tory
Recently.
MP as well. Like,
yeah.
was it last year? 2 years ago?
Yeah,
Yeah.
after getting threats and stuff. So
But there are racist killings that happen on account of that is racially motivated.
Yeah.
So who we don't know. Praying it doesn't happen, but I feel like these threats can't be taken lightly.
They ain't doing nothing.
Because that's wild.
They just literally want to do this and make you scared. They're not gonna do none of that stuff that they said they're gonna do.
I don't know.
God
mean-
willing, that's
God willing, they definitely would. By the grace of God, they definitely will not. But I hope she's all right, man. She hasn't tweeted or anything. I tried to look. I didn't try. I did look. She's just been since she posted that. That's a lot. That is very, very wild. It literally made me. I just couldn't believe it when I saw it. But praying for safety for her and her family, and
Yeah, they're not that committed, man. Or they just would have done it. I'm just trying to scare her.
it's mad, man.
You don't tell people when you got big elaborate plans like that.
Just do it. Yeah, it's crazy, man. But then people tell you that there's no racism in Britain. That's funny, isn't it? But yeah, we'll see what happens. I haven't seen any like politicians or any notable big figures come out. I know that Piers cannot stand her, so it'd be interesting to see if he says anything about this one and actually publicly condemns this as he does.
With Piers Morgan?
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
he's a twat. So we'll see, man. But yeah, man, it's crazy. It's proper crazy. But sending her love and peace and God's protection, really. Mm-hmm. Oh, also, sorry. Remember I was saying when we were talking about topic of the day, and I was talking about that man who, the one that disappeared. So it wasn't here; it was in Turkey. I was able to find it, and he's a Saudi consulate. Consulate, is that how you say it? Yeah, and it happened in Turkey, and apparently, it happened in a hotel. They saw him enter the hotel, but they never saw him leave the hotel. And apparently, all the staff that worked in the hotel were just told to just give him a half day, out of nowhere. And security footage was removed and whatever. And he's been missing ever since. Obviously, it's a case where we killed him.
he's not a black leader.
No, he's not. But
Okay.
at the time, I didn't know.
All right.
I just wanted to confirm. But his name was Khashoggi, if anyone wanted to look at the case.
Yeah, Jamal Khashoggi.
Jamal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was mad, man. Scary, man. But yeah, man. Let's get into the People's Journal. It's an Islam name.
What?
Jamal.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. All right. So welcome to the People's Journal. I'll give you the news from an economics point of view. I haven't got a lot to talk about today, to be fair. The first thing I want to talk about is Sadiq Khan. He's back in the news, man. And tell me what you guys think of this, yeah? I'm pretty sure I can
I don't think it's
I can
foolishness.
tell the sentiment in the chat before I even say it. But Sadiq Khan, yesterday, basically unveiled a new, obviously it's going to be taxpayer funded, but a new plan which is going to cost 130 million to give all London primary school children free meals.
Isn't Sadiq Khan isn't he a transport guy?
He's the mayor of London. Yeah, so all of that is included, yeah, pretty much.
I just always thought he was just the transportation guy.
No,
So I was thinking, what's your own?
no, it's full-blown the mayor.
I mean, to be honest, if he feeds the kids, isn't it? Like, it's difficult to say no to that when it feeds kids. I feel like it should be means tested to save us some money.
Exactly.
But then again, if they didn't send money to Ukraine and they use that money to feed the kids, I wouldn't be upset about it. But
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, man, he's looking to fund meals for 1 year, so from September, for up to 270,000 students. It's going to be funded by business rates, which is paid by firms and stuff like that.
which is stupid, expensive.
hmm And basically, it's going to save families up to £440 per child, apparently. According to the Food Foundation, an estimated 800,000 children in England are living in poverty but do not qualify for free schools.
Okay, so that's helpful then.
I'd like to see how that works, man.
No,
Like,
because you know
they live in
sometimes,
poverty and-
yeah, because what they do, they take into they take into account your income or whatever, but they don't take into account your expenses to say that you can't afford it. Do you get what I mean? So that definitely checks out. But he's only doing it for a year.
Yeah, I think maybe they just want to see how it pans out for the first year, maybe.
Okay, I was gonna it's gonna pan out except expensive.
Yeah, well, I don't know. But basically, he even suggested that the scheme should be copied nationwide.
But I thought primary school kids get free meals anyways. When you get to secondary school, you start paying.
No, I think you pay for it.
No, I'm lying. Yeah, you top up the money, isn't it?
Yeah, man. So he was speaking to the BBC, right? And basically said, I'm hoping that the lessons from London will show the case, unarguably, that universal free school meals in primary schools should be a must. He basically called the free school meals a lifeline. And he said that he had personally benefited from them as a child, innit? So obviously, I guess that's what's kind of motivated him to want to go down that route and stuff like that. But obviously, you're going to get some people from the other side, from the Tories.
Of course not. Of course you will.
Yeah, man. Basically saying this don't make no sense, man. And one of these people goes by the name of Simon Clarke. He's a Tory former minister, and he hit out at the cost and the universality of the scheme. And this is what he said. He said, using millions that could be spent on targeted support to vulnerable children to subsidise free school meals for middle-class parents who can afford them perfectly well is the opposite of progressive politics. And that is classic Labour.
What was his name? Malcolm?
Simon Clarke.
Simon Clarke. I wonder what he had to say when was his friend Rishi Sunak was talking about putting all that millions into Ukraine. Did he respond to that?
I don't know.
That's interesting. Selective, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know, the thing is, though, because a lot of the ministers kind of understand why they want to support Ukraine, innit? So remember, like both Tories, obviously I'm generalising here, but a lot of the Tories and Labour Party all supporting Ukraine. That's why Starmer said, I think earlier this week or last week, he said, even if I'm elected Prime Minister, nothing's going to change. I'm still going to be giving support. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like a universal thing where both sides, I should say, agree. But I kind of agree with what he's saying here obviously to some degree. Why is everyone funding middle class families?
Yeah, because they're funding upper class. Don't MPs get free food? Don't they get all these expenses paid back?
No, but they're working. That's just a perk of their job, isn't it?
It's not a perk. They get way too many perks. That's why some of them even commit fraud in these perks. Yeah, I feel like your food, your lunch. When I go and work for a company, it's not a perk to get food.
Yeah, but it's not every day. They don't get that. It's only like, for example, say I'm taking out somebody on a business meeting that's related to our job role. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they do that every day, man. There's ways around this. And this is the problem.
Of course. I agree with you. But again, that problem is both Labour and Tories. You know what I'm saying? It's just MPs in general.
I feel like if they took a cut in these little expenses that they keep expensing, this would be fine. I don't agree with him because I don't like when it's selective. It's selective energy, and I don't rate that.
It is. But
if you want justice for all and you want to be able to, you want affordability for all, then you will look at it in-house as well. But you're fine to expense your little trips to Hakkasan for lunch, but them little babies whose parents are dealing with inflation and dealing with taxes and dealing with everything else, the realities of life, you don't want that in your nice, comfortable job with getting paid 6 figures a year. Hun, sit down, please.
I get you, Esther, but it's a bit different, man. It's a bit different. And I'm sure you would agree that you would more likely help somebody who can't do for self rather than somebody who can but would rather use their money on something else. You know what I'm saying?
That's what because I did say to be fair, it can be means tested, but again, with that, again, they just go by your income, but you don't know what. Just because I earn this doesn't mean that that's the money that's in my bank account. Yeah. Again, with all the bills and stuff going up there, water and electricity, all that kind of stuff. The way people are earning money, if it's less, people have less money. So personally, I would never be against feeding kids in it. So I feel like there's other cuts that can be made. The government can make other cuts to accommodate for that if they wanted to. But this selective MP speeches where they only speak up on certain things and things that don't benefit them, is fine because his kids are fine. His kids can afford whatever food they want in whatever private school they go to. Of course he will say that.
I hear you. And to be fair, I think the threshold is quite low because what they're saying is currently households in England receiving universal credit must earn below 7,400 a year, you know, before benefits and after tax to qualify for free school meals. So that's quite down there, you know what I'm saying? So obviously, you're right, man. If the bar was kind of raised up a bit, at least, you know, but yeah. So it makes sense. The other thing I want to mention is basically the government ran an unexpected budget surplus in January. And basically it reflected some strong income tax receipts, man. And that is basically what people are saying. It could give the Chancellor, Jeremy Hunt, a little more leeway, you know what I'm saying, than he thought as he's preparing for his annual budget and all that, right? The French Office for National Statistics data shows a seasonal budget surplus of 5.42 billion in January, which is a month in which millions of Britons pay their income tax and all that type of stuff. So people are saying it kind of gives them some time to kind of maneuver. There's not going to be too much pressure on him, but obviously April's around the corner. I remember in April, like I said, I think around the end of last year, a lot of things are going to be changing, innit? As they kind of spoke about in their autumn budget. So yeah, we'll see what he can come up with before that time. And the last thing I want to talk about is property prices. Well, the asking prices anyway, they're up by, guess how much? Actually, it'll be impossible for you to say, to be fair.
I was going to say, stupid amount.
Basically, it's up by the smallest amount in January in more than 20 years. This is according to Rightmove. And they're basically saying that property asking prices are up by just £14. That's it. Yeah, man. So home sellers are downgrading their ambitions, apparently, and being slightly more realistic with their asking prices. So no one's really inflating their prices now because they know what the situation is. But they are also saying that buyers are returning to actually, they're interested again, man. Okay. There was a little bit of a mortgage spike despite the crazy rates. But yeah, they're still saying that there is some hope there. But the prices are quite low. Well, quite level with the actual true value. Obviously, once you factor in inflation and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you've got the cash, this might be a good time for you, man, to buy. If you can ride the high mortgage rates at the moment anyway for a few years, provided they go down again. But this ain't no financial advice. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the People's Journal today, man.
Thank you very much. Let's get into our next headlines.
All right, so tell me what you guys think of this, man. You remember Roald Dahl books, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, has criticised changes to Roald Dahl books after the removal of some references to things like characters' appearances and their weight sparked a fierce debate.
Sorry?
Yes, you heard right.
He has so much on his plate, and this is what he's worrying about Roald Dahl's books.
Because, you know what? Let me talk a bit more about it. Maybe you may agree, man.
This country's it's a joke.
so Roald Dahl's estate, right, and publisher said that works including the BFG and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory had to be updated to make them more suitable for modern audiences, right? Some said that they approved of the changes, but Mr. Sunak, well, his spokesperson anyway, came out and said that works of fiction should be preserved and not airbrushed. Borrowing a word from Roald Dahl, which he invented in one of his books, he said that when it comes to our rich and varied literary heritage, the Prime Minister agrees with the BFG that we shouldn't gobble funk around with words. Others to speak out against the changes include the author Sir Salman Rushdie, who wrote what's that book, man? The Satanic Verses. And he basically said that Roald Dahl was no angel, but this is absurd censorship. Puffin Books and the Roald Dahl estate should be ashamed. Obviously, you guys remember Charlie and Chocolate Factory, yeah? Mm-hmm. I want you guys to basically listen to some of the changes. So they've now, Augustus Gloop in that particular book, Charlie and Chocolate Factory, is now described as enormous. They've taken out the word fat.
Enormous is worse. Are they meant to make this like more friendly?
Yeah.
Like, enormous is PC, but fat isn't.
Yeah, man.
Do you know it used to be enormous? If someone call me fat, I'll be like, okay. If you call me enormous, it's a fight.
It sounds
it's worse.
It sounds worse. But I think because of everything attached to fat, you know what I'm saying?
No one
really
give me
says,
fat any day. Enormous. They say you're an elephant.
Yeah. Also, the sentence, I tried it on an Oompa Loompa yesterday in the testing room has changed to, I tried it myself yesterday in the testing room.
What, there's no more Oompa Loompas?
Taking it out.
What's an Oompa Loompa anyway?
The little fat orange people.
Yeah, in that book.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're enormous, of course you probably can't see the Oompa Loompas. You're bloody enormous, aren't you?
Yeah, man.
Do people get called Oompa Loompas though?
People do.
I've called someone Oompa Loompas, definitely.
What makes you call somebody?
They're fat and orange, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And Mrs. Twit from the book The Twits is no longer ugly and beastly. The person just called Beastly now. In the same book.
This is PC.
Yeah, they changed it. Yeah. So just
I think this is alright.
They're taking out the ugly
No
thing.
problem.
In the same book, the sentence "a weird African language" is no longer used. They've taken out the word "weird," so it's just an African language.
It's never weird anyway.
The words "crazy" and "mad" have also been removed as a result of an emphasis on mental health. Right, so they're taking that out. A threat to knock her flat in Matilda. In the book, knock her flat. Sorry, in the book Matilda.
Yeah.
One of the things is I'm gonna knock her flat. Basically, yeah. They've changed that to I'm gonna give her a right talking to.
Gonna give you a right talking to.
Yeah.
I like that.
Also from Matilda, Miss Trunchbull says, "I'm fed up with you, useless bunch of midgets."
Yeah, that was wild.
That's changed.
Miss Trunchbull, they need to take her character out. That one was a bitch. Like she needs to be gone.
Right. And they changed that to "I'm fed up with you, useless bunch of squirts."
Useless squirts.
Yeah, bunch of squirts.
That sounds dirty.
And references to colours have also been changed as well. The BFG's coat is no longer black.
Why not?
That's like Baba Black Sheep. It's not black sheep anymore.
What is it
It's
now?
I think it's just a sheep.
What?
No, it's not. What is it?
Has to be something.
I think I saw they did change Baba Black Sheep, innit?
They did. It wasn't black no more.
I don't think they changed. I think they banned the song or something.
Serious?
Yeah, I think they might have just said there's no other word.
I think my daughter still listens to that on the YouTube and that.
Well, Baba Black Sheep?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Cocomelon and them definitely don't know that.
You sure? I feel like I'm pretty sure I've heard it in the house.
Am I making this up?
No, it was a whole thing.
I'm sure they stopped that. I'm not sure. I don't know. Don't quote
I
me.
can double check.
I'll find. Let me find it while you speak.
And also, while Mary in the BFG now goes still as a statue instead of white as a sheep. Yeah, so I'm assuming I can't remember the story. Well, that part, but assuming she sees the BFG and she basically goes still as a statue instead of white as a sheep. And in The Witches, the sentence is, even if she's working as a cashier in a supermarket or typing letters for a businessman, that's been changed to, even if she's working as a top scientist or running a business.
Okay.
Yeah, because women
in business, yes,
there you
girls.
go. So yeah, they changed up these things, man. So,
I don't think that's
yeah.
bad. And this is what Rishi Sunak is talking about.
But I think it's bad because it's
Why?
it's Roald Dahl's book. Why are you changing my words?
Was I alive?
No, he's dead.
Well, should have been alive to be here then.
Nah, man. But why are you changing my book?
Because we live in a different society now.
Just don't read it. That's how
There is that.
You know what I'm saying? Just don't read it.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, that was my first thing. Because I was thinking, why is Rishi Sunak so upset? I don't think he's even at home. Anyway, whatever. My thing was just, if you don't like the words that changed in a book, don't read it. Like, it's just that simple. That sexual book, my kids were never going to read that. I'm never reading that. Do you get me?
Yeah.
But I think that if certain things are progressive, then it is. That weird African, you were going to read that to your child? Weird African language.
No, but that's what he wrote. And I'll explain to my child that from the white people's perspective, they see our language as weird. But guess what? Guess your language is weird. Theirs.
Nah, man,
It's simple
change
as
that shit, man. It's just spreading hate. Change
Nah,
that.
man. Like, we can't be too soft, man.
We're not soft. We're just evolving.
All right.
But I can't find the new lyrics to Baba Black Sheep. But apparently, they even, when they say one for the little boy, they were like, sex is the girls need some too. So I can't find. Maybe it's just banned. Period. I don't know. But black sheep do exist there.
Right.
Very ugly looking though. It's scary. You see it? I don't like animals anyway. Animals are honestly, I just pray there's no animals when I get to heaven, because if I get them as animals, I'm in hell. Ugh, let me itch.
Jesus is the Lamb of God, remember?
Nah, he's not a physical lamb though. An actual lamb. But yeah, man, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, the next headline, there's a trigger warning here. And basically, a man has been cured of HIV, man, after a stem cell transplant. The 53-year-old, known as the Dusseldorf patient, is just the third person worldwide to be cured of the condition using the treatment. He has been off antiretroviral medication, which involves taking drugs to suppress the virus, for 4 years without relapse. For 4 years, man. So it seems like this has worked. As in the case with the other two patients, the Berlin patient and the London patient, the transplant was conducted to treat an acute disorder of the blood, in his case, leukemia, which had developed in addition to the HIV infection. Almost 10 years after the stem cell transplant from an unrelated donor, and more than 4 years after ending the HIV therapy, the patient is now in good health. The man who was diagnosed in 2008 said, "I still remember very well the sentence of my family doctor. Don't take it so hard. We will experience together that HIV can be cured." This is what they said to him in 2008.
Right.
You know, he held on to it, man, and he believed it. And at the time, he said, "I dismissed the statement as an alibi. Today, I'm all the more proud of my worldwide team of doctors who succeeded in curing me of HIV, and at the same time, of course, of leukemia." They add that the study is the longest and the most precise diagnostic monitoring of a patient with HIV after stem cell transplantation. A stem cell transplant involves destroying any unhealthy blood cells and replacing them with healthy stem cells removed from the blood or bone marrow. Due to the high risk, stem cell transplants are only carried out within a framework of treating other life-threatening diseases. So basically what they also said is further research is now needed into how this can be made possible outside a narrow set of framework conditions that, we just described. And the study, for those who are interested, is published in the Nature Medicine Journal. And the last headline here is 2 brothers have been jailed for attempting to import loaded guns into London from the US, hidden inside a microwave. So Edward Pink, who's 46, of Nambury Close in Lambeth, and Cadian Pink, who's 41, from Surrey, were on Monday sentenced to more than a decade behind bars.
That's smart though.
For their part in the operation. Croydon Crown Court heard that on the 28th of June last year, US authorities intercepted a parcel that had been sent from Florida to a business address in the London borough of Newham after suspicious objects were spotted inside it during a scan. Inside the package, they discovered a microwave containing 4 loaded guns, so 2 Glock 19s, Gen 5 pistols, a Glock 17, Gen 5 pistol, a Taurus G2C pistol, and 59 rounds of ammunition. Serial numbers on all the guns had been removed. US authorities seized the guns and alerted Scotland Yard's Specialist Crime Command, and a joint investigation was launched. On July the 12th last year, the Pink brothers were arrested, charged, and remanded in custody. Katie and Pink denied any involvement. So when presented with a recorded voice note from his mobile phone, so they tapped these guys, man, from time, in which he was instructed by the US contact he was ordering from to name his make, model, and specification. He insisted that everything that he said basically related to an order for hair clippers for his mobile barbering business. Edward and Katie and Pink were both convicted at Croydon Crown Court on February 10th of conspiracy to possess firearms with intent to endanger lives and conspiracy to possess ammunition with intent to endanger life. On Monday, they were sentenced to 12 years and 14 years respectively for each count, and they're going to be running concurrently. And that's the end of the headlines.
Thank you very much. Let's get into the reaction.
Sports news?
Not much, just a little bit here and there. Some rumours. A little bit, yeah.
Well, let's get into our football rumours. Oh, in great news, Garnacho's signed a new long-term deal with Manchester United. I think we just got to sort out thingy rights. What's it called?
Image rights?
Image rights. Yeah, I think we just got to sort out image rights. So that should be done. I think it's 5 years. I'm not sure what kind of money it's on, but that is great news, as he is one of the finest young talents in the world. Also, we have Javi Garcia. He's emerged as a contender to take over at Leeds United until the end of the season. Who do you manage?
I don't even know. Javi Garcia.
They're in the mud over there. I think they want to look at Rafa Benitez, but David Moyes is set to stay in charge of West Ham against Nottingham Forest this Saturday, but Rafa Benitez is on standby and wants the job. Yeah, Rafa don't want the Leeds one. I think he's waiting for the West Ham one. Do you think West Ham stick with Moyes, Brent?
If they go down.
No, like now, this season. Would he be there at the end of the season?
If they continue this particular speed.
They don't.
No, how many games are left?
20
games.
No. I'm chatting shit. Absolutely chatting shit. How many games have we played? 23?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10, 15.
Okay. If they lose the next 2, I think they're going to do something.
Okay.
Because they can't get relegated again.
They've got too much about them to go down, man. Surely, man. They're in and around it. There's the teams on top of them are quite close. It just takes a few results. 3-4 games could change that. I think they've got way too much about them to go down. But if they do,
Nice
fire
price.
sale,
Yeah,
fire
this is it.
sale.
This is it.
You'll take it. Whatever.
I think they just confirmed it, you know.
What?
Leeds, the Javi Gracia.
Oh, they confirmed it. He's gone there.
Yeah, he's the manager. Yeah.
Okay. Good on them. I don't think West Ham are going to get rid of Moyes right now just because of how long it's been for Leeds and Southampton to sort their gaffers out. You get me? It's just a bit of a headache, so they might as well just ride it out. What's this say? Former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou has called for Deontay Wilder to fight him after the American declared that he is now taking full control of his career. I don't want to see that. I'm so over Deontay Wilder. I don't give a shit about him. Oh.
You don't think he's one? He's still top 5, top 3.
Top 3 what?
Heavyweights.
No, he's not.
You don't think so?
He's shit.
No, he's only lost to Fury, isn't it?
Yeah, but he fights idiots every day. He's bloody shit, man. I'm sorry, man. He's shit. Fuck
I think
Wilder.
that's hot.
He's shit. I don't even want to see him fight anyone. I'll probably watch him fight AJ.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll watch him fight AJ. That's about it. And that's just because it was a long time in the making and with all the 3 of them and he's fought Fury, so I want to see it. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? That's the only reason why. Wilder's a fucking idiot.
Skill wise though, yeah. Like
Terrible.
he's obviously not up there innit, with the rest of them, innit? But he's got the equalizer, man.
He has got it. He's got the punching power.
Knocked out everyone except Fury.
No, he's got it. He's definitely got that, but that's not enough, man. That's not what you want to see, man. You know, you look at what, is that your king? No, not me, man. Sorry. But anyway, what else have we got here? Kell Brook wants to get back in the ring. Ain't he retired?
Yep, but he wants to get back in there, man.
See, I told you so just after we saw him sniffing coke the other day. He said that.
It's a shame, man.
So it's been a year since Kell Brook defeated his long-standing rival Amir Khan, but the former welterweight champion could yet return to action one more time. Who's he gonna fight, man? What's he doing here, man?
Basically, they were talking about like a potential exhibition fight with Pacquiao.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, basically the guy, what's his name? Shalom. Is his name Ben Shalom?
Ben Shalom.
Yeah, Ben Shalom. He basically was saying that rumor, I can only see it being an exhibition fight anyway with Pacquiao because I don't think Pacquiao was that serious about fighting anymore. But aside from that, Kell Brook apparently wants to fight the winner of Eubank and Smith. So whoever wins that, he wants to get in the ring with them, man.
Okay, then we'll get into that. And then our last sports headline is suspended British sprinter must repay 10K to UK sport. What's this?
Yeah, man. I think we spoke about this. Was it maybe sometime last year? But basically, he got caught like doping, basically, innit? And he was basically saying, no, it was just something I got from Amazon, innit? You know what I'm saying? Like some protein powder or something, yeah. And obviously it contained some illegal substances. Long story short now, they basically said that, okay, look, if you want to stay in this team or whatever, like the funding that you had during that period, you need to pay it back. You know what I'm saying? So they're not totally excluded him, but they just said that period there, yeah, we need that money back, man. That's basically what the situation is.
Where's he going to get it from?
No idea, man.
Sprinters and thing got it rough, man. I swear, like, I swear they only earn proper real money during the tournaments and that, innit? Like the big ones,
so,
like say the Olympics and Commonwealth and shit. And
through sponsorships and all that.
And then so for the rest of the time, they're just training and just cutting through and just... It's a hard life, you know?
Yeah.
It's hard life, hard work and dedication. But all right, that's cool. He's got to pay back 10 grand. That's the end of our sports headlines today, people. We'll have more for you... Is it Champions League week? Tonight and that? Jeez! Don't worry, man. Tomorrow, man, we got dark. We got dark. All right, say less, man. Let's get into Dana. Today's Dana here is... Actually, let me not pretend because I haven't even done my due diligence. I've been exceptionally distracted. So we are going to explore this story together because my eyes have not touched it. But the headline stuck out to me because white people are doing it again. Somebody else bit a nose off again.
Now stop it.
That was my first encounter with a nose being bitten off the other day.
Yeah,
and then now we've got... It's like the buses.
Damn. Maybe it's not the theme of this week.
Well, it could be. Let me see. Beautician, 26, who bit her boyfriend's nose off during a date night from hell, leaving him permanently disfigured, is spared jail after the victim did not support the prosecution and said his attacker needed help. Simping! So the story is about simping. What? He allowed her. He's defended her after she bit his nose off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God!
Sound like a real man to me.
This is a modern day
sound
love
like a
story.
supportive king to me.
Can you imagine?
He said, "I don't want my girl going to jail. I know you bit my nose off. I know I'm permanently disfigured, but if you stay with me."
Okay, so what does this spell?
I'm not saying
BRONWYN.
Get myself a man with a nose.
BRONWYN.
Brilliant.
What? BRI.
BRONWYN.
Browning.
Oh, Bronwyn. Huh?
Bronwyn.
Bronwyn.
Yeah, Bronwyn.
How can I say Browning?
Browning, really? What? That's a girl's name.
Bronwyn.
Yeah, from like Game of Thrones times.
long time ago.
Or is this one of them Irish names that's spelt that doesn't look like
how it's spelled?
How it's spelled.
Yeah.
But it says something totally different.
Yeah, probably.
Like a Neve.
Like Neve, yeah, that probably says Neve. That's probably Neve.
Yeah.
So Bronwyn Downs sank her teeth into Luke Berry's face
her teeth.
during a drunken row. Let me see if the nose is there.
Oh, she was drunk then.
Yeah, but I mean, why is it just selfies of her? Where's Donnie's nose? I want to see Donnie's face.
Nose.
I want to see Donnie's face. I want to see what it is. Basically, it was an unwarranted attack.
Bronwyn.
Bronwyn. Okay.
Bronwyn.
This story is about love. The question I want to put to the people then is, what would you put up with in the name of love? If someone bit your nose off, are you still going to defend their honor and their right for them to have freedom?
I'll make you sign a contract where you have to be with me for the rest of your life. You know what? Leave me out here high and dry and disfigured.
Just noseless.
However, if I bit a nose though, and you let me go scot free, I'm getting myself a man with a nose.
You know what it is? I want to say that if you bite a nose and you get a scot free, you're probably going to bite another one again.
You say you're a nose biter.
You're a nose biter, innit?
Once you bite one nose,
For real, you know.
you bite them all.
There's no going back.
Oh wow!
I didn't know what the story
he
is.
looks like he loves her though.
Is that? He's done at Air, you know. I think he's done
He's
at
done
Air.
at Air?
Yeah, I think he's done at Air.
Yeah, I agree.
Kevin is proud of that.
Yeah, I think he's done at Air. Actually, now the story developing and I'm seeing what's going on. He's daily. You made her bite your nose off, and then you defended her in court.
But you know, it's like she was drunk. Hindsight, like, you know what? She didn't really mean it.
Insane.
She didn't really mean it.
What you won't do for love. Hey, listen, this is wild to me. And obviously, you know what?
Yeah, but you know, like when say something happens, yeah, like you know they didn't mean it. So why should she's actually gonna go to jail?
Listen, we spoke about this before. Do you know the amount of pressure you need to apply to get that
Yeah,
nose
to bite
off?
a nose.
What do you mean?
Yeah, but
mean
like,
it.
yeah, but you know she didn't mean like that.
Crazy.
Okay, imagine your friend stole from you, yeah.
And you bit their nose off.
No. Okay, let's forget the nose for a second. Imagine your friend steals from you, yeah. And then like say like at the time you saw them, police also saw them.
Mm.
And so it's like you're like, would you let your friend go to jail?
That's different.
That's different, I think, isn't it?
You can give him back the money. You can't give him back my nose. It's gone.
Yeah, but like, you just know someone didn't mean something in it. Not me though. You're getting locked up.
If the police caught your friend biting your nose off, you'd be like, take her! Take her! This bitch is crazy! Take her to jail!
True,
What do you mean? Wouldn't you?
Nostrils exposed and
Get
everything.
this bitch off me! You be going brazy.
Do you know this is yeah. Don't know exactly. Like there's so many people. I love this segment, man. It really shows me what world we live in. I really love this segment.
It's crazy.
2 nose bites. It's only Tuesday, you know.
2 nose bites in the space of a week. That is wild.
Damn.
But it's definitely him though. Last week was her for biting her nose. This week I think it's him for defending her.
Do you think there's like a... Sorry. Do you think there's a rise in nose biting crimes?
It's a pandemic.
For real, you know. This is 2 and 2.
This is 2 for 2. Because when it happened the first half, wow, that's crazy that this don't happen.
Exactly.
We've had a second. What if this is actually a rise in crime? This is what the world we live in.
You gotta be careful.
You can't protect your nose.
You gotta be careful. Hey, it's dangerous out here.
Okay, Hey, your name's exposed.
Oh man.
Oh,
Oh my God.
these are so
I'm
silly.
actually crying because I feel like if I ever go in an argument with someone in public now,
You're gonna
Hey, you gotta step back, you know.
I'd be a nose biter. You didn't
I'm
know.
telling you.
Oh,
That
this
is wild,
hilarious.
man. This man's done it here, man. I thought it was gonna be the buy tea. No, the buy tar. But it's not, it's the buy tea.
By tea, man.
It's the buy tea, man. He's done it here, man. If your gal bites your nose, man, and you got a chance to send her down, get her down.
Get down. A girl that has, she's gotta be restrained.
Yeah, man.
You gotta clip them wings.
She gotta learn, man. She gotta learn. You get
If
me?
he gets dumped by her, yeah, he needs to be done here twice. She can't leave you. You can't. She can't be free. Nah, man.
Ever.
Freedom to be with other guys.
There we go,
That
man.
have
But
good noses.
there you have it,
Wild.
man. He's done it here, man. Let's get into our outro.
Ay, ay, ay. The show is hilarious. You guys gonna have some pancakes today?
Somewhere.
I think I might.
Is it from where?
Where's the pancake?
Anyway,
Day?
it's pancake day, yeah.
Oh shit, I didn't know that. Nah.
Yeah. I'm trying to look at so pancakes is I do have my pancakes vegan.
Do you know what I'm saying?
That whole add milk thing is
Not necessary, man.
no. You don't eat eggs then?
Nah.
Yeah. That whole add milk, add eggs to it, it just don't ring true to me.
What don't you like about pancakes?
I don't have anything about pancakes. I don't like the milk and the egg part.
You know what it is? I don't like the process, you know. Because do you know why? Because let's just say you're making like 5 pancakes, for example.
You can never make 5.
Why?
Because I can't go in saying I'm making 4 pancakes. I might get 8.
There you
I
go.
might get 2. I just go in and see how many the quantity comes out.
But you know the thing is, yeah, when you're making it, let's just say you make 8, for
Yeah.
example. You've got like 7 that's sitting there. So that gets cold.
Cold.
I hate that with a passion.
That's why I eat as I go.
But then I don't want to stand up eating.
I don't mind. I can eat anyway. That's the problem. That is the issue.
Yeah, that's
that is
the biggest
really
thing I
the
hate.
issue. Maybe you have to get them pancake. It's getting long now. Get them pancake cutters. So maybe if you leave them, you know them like where you can get a perfect shape, like a little food cutter things.
Yeah.
So if you put it, say you got a circle one, you put it in the circle, put the thing on there, put it in there. But if you have like a big pan enough where you can have different, like 4 pancakes at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's already at the same time, flip them at the same time. Meal served.
That's true, you know.
I eat as I go, boy.
Yeah, I saw someone on TikTok the other day doing pancakes in the air fryer. That looked with the greaseproof paper, just pouring it on and layering it. That looked lit. That looked quick and easy. You didn't see that?
No, I didn't.
They just put the greaseproof paper down, pour the mix, and then pour another layer of greaseproof paper, then pour the mix, and like stack them. When they come out, it was just the pancakes.
One and
stacked.
done. It's all hot.
Can't go wrong.
That's lit though. I love it air
You have
fryer.
to look into that.
Wow, yeah, I think I definitely need to, you know.
I don't think I've never made a pancake in my life.
Really?
I don't believe so. How do you make it? What's it?
It's like flour. I use water instead of milk because all you need is just liquid in it. So I use water instead of milk, and I use oil instead of butter.
That sounds terrible.
Are you okay? My pancakes slap. I don't want butter either. That's dairy. It's a dairy-free pancake, and it slaps. Let me try it. Wait, taste my pancakes. I ain't never had no complaint. That's all I'm saying. Right, then wrap up the show. Thank you for a great show. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel as well. Our subscription is going up, so would love to keep growing in that regard. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video as well. It stays up when we're done. Also follow us on our social media platforms. The Day After TNB on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And also, if you want to send dilemmas in for asking for a friend, assist, what would you do? The number is 07564841073. If you would like to inquire about the show or feature on the show, our email address is thedayafter@thenewblack.com. Thank you for a great show, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.
Bye.